it look like a normal resolution, and they added a whole bunch of high def stuff to it. Looks pretty cool.
All right,
yeah, I've got the whole series of Star Trek Next Generation.
Well, I know I bought
all seven seasons.
So we are broadcasting live now. So we're doing our Google GG Plus, or not GG Plus. I'm sorry, Google Hangout. So if you want to start the music, guys.
This is the podcast my dad warns me about.
Maybe that's what we.
The Dick and Cider Show.
Can't wait for the music.
I know. It's too long. It's too long intro.
No, it's not.
No, I know.
And we are putting our dicks into this week's Circle Jerk of a Conversation.
I'm Ice.
I'm 6.
And no Gigi today.
No Gigi.
She's busy picking out a wedding dress.
Yes. Good luck.
Important.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Very important.
A good day with her mom.
Yeah.
She's going to spend all day with her mom. We're going to go out for breakfast and do a little shopping and have lunch. And
June is going to be here quick.
She said, what was it, 14 weeks? 12 weeks? She'll be getting hitched?
12?
No, it's more than that.
June 1st.
Well, I don't remember. She said it. I saw it on Twitter. No, on Twitter she had it. I thought maybe it was 22 weeks or something. I don't remember, but it was something with a 12. I thought it was, I thought it was 12 or 22, something like that. I don't remember. But
I mean, there's an average of 4 weeks a month.
Well, it would probably be 24 weeks because it's 6 months away.
Well, there's only 4 weeks in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, average of 4.
Average 4 weeks in the month, and then June 1st is. I mean, they're not even getting to June, right?
So it's a little more than 6 months.
Like 28 weeks.
Yeah. Like 28 weeks later, next thing you know, there's a virus coming out.
Maybe she said it was like 20. Maybe she was like 22 weeks. She said it when she was getting married or something. I can't remember. But it's coming quick. It's coming quick.
Yeah, it is. It'll come by quick. And what else is coming?
And my wife even took the time off now. She's got her vacation in for that time, so we can go and enjoy ourselves over there.
Speaking of wives, guess what my wife's got to do now?
What?
She may be going to Hawaii for a new acquisition for the company. So that'll be in the beginning of January. And/or Sacramento, so a lot more traveling for her this coming year. So she wanted me to go, but I was like, we can't.
All she needs to know is aloha, because that's good. Hello and goodbye.
Well, that's what they're calling it, the aloha acquisition. I'm like, which one is it? Goodbye acquisition or hello acquisition? Yeah, it's probably
when
goodbye,
you talk about acquisition, it sounds like the Ferengi books of acquisition.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the books of the rules of acquisition.
The Spanish acquisition.
Acquisition.
Yeah, I know.
Inquisition.
Inquisition, yes.
So, well, how was your weeks? I mean, since we don't have Gigi here, anything new?
No.
It seems very, very drug out. Because I am working on I actually just showed up right after work. So I am doing this podcast without having any sleep yet. So hopefully I don't stumble and turn into a puddle of shit here on the mic. But
me and Irv got about the same amount of sleep last night. He got to bed by 2:30, quarter to 2, and I about the same for me.
Yeah, quarter after 2:30. Yeah.
I got to bed. I mean, shit.
Well, that was a self-induced Call of Duty time.
Yeah,
for
see,
you.
I was doing more podcasting. I was working.
Yeah, but I had a fucking hard day yesterday, though. Working. Oh, fucking just.
Yeah,
I'm
really about the job. Come on.
I'm just so much. I'm just getting so pathetic. I mean, it's just being.
You can't even talk.
I can't even say it.
Next subject.
This job so bad it makes you trip over your tongue.
It's just that we've got veteran, locators that, they can handle half the shit that almost everything that's thrown with them.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only been there 7 months, and I get a phone call telling me that I have to go help them because they can't handle it. And I'm sitting here like,
wasn't it nice to be wanted though?
Well, not when he tells me I had the week, the last couple of days off, and then he calls me up and I have to go in. It's like, Jesus Christ, either lay me off or keep my ass working and put 40 hours a week under my belt. If you can't do either or, then guess what? Then I'm getting another fucking job.
And like I was talking to you about it too. At least they're trying to make it okay for you to have something to do. I mean, they're not looking at you going, "Oh, well, you're screwed." I'm gonna give it to these guys and not you. They're giving, even though you're new,
yeah.
you know, you got to remember.
I'm still not making half that kind of money because I'm getting screwed no matter what, because I'm only putting in anywhere from 15 to 20 hours a week.
Help with your unemployment.
But I'm making only 15 to 20 hours a week.
I'm in the same boat as you are. Not making as much.
Plus unemployment. No, I mean, just if I would have just been on unemployment, I'd be losing $200 a week. But by this, I'm losing anywhere almost up to $300 a week by doing what I'm doing now. It's just pathetic. I mean, it's just no consistency. I don't know. I don't even. Oh, I know what I have to work Monday, but I got to do a fucking survey. About 2-3 hours, then I'm done. And I have no idea after that. After that, I don't have no idea if I'm working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I could have the rest of the week off, or I could have the day off, and then the next thing you know, they give me a call and say, "Go to run to Wausau. Go to run to this. Somebody needs something, and you got to run." It's like I'm a fucking gopher.
Oh, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Caddyshack needs you.
Yeah, yeah, Caddyshack needs you.
No.
It's all right.
That's not how I was. That's not how I was raised with a job. I was raised with a job that you go in, you put in your 8 fucking hours, and you know what you have to do. You do it, you get done, and you go home.
What? Look at some of these people, like the people that I worked with a few years ago that got pushed out before retirement. You know, they're 60-some years old, late 50s, early 60s, and it's not like it used to be where unions and seniority mattered. It's not like that anymore. You got to remember, these employers have to find a way to make everybody happy, otherwise they get their ass sued. So they're bouncing around.
But you know, if you
on
get
tippy
it,
toes.
but if you start a job right on the bottom, you expect to be laid off. You expect not to have as much work because you are on the bottom of the totem pole, because you haven't earned your right.
Well, seniority does have a
seniority has. You know, you've got locators. So you know, you got techs that have 16, 15, 10, 20 years under their belt. They're the ones that should have the priority to maintain what they usually do. A new guy should say, you know, I mean, like they even told me,
I'm not equipped to do it, so let these guys do it. Yeah.
The thing of it is that they told me, you know, back a couple months ago, they said, you'll probably be getting laid off all winter. You know, and I expected that. I really did. Yeah, and then a couple of days later, you know, my boss calls me and says, "No, maybe we're not going to do that now because it's unfair to all the guys. We're going to try to work you 10 hours a week."
You should feel lucky that you have an employer that's trying to make everybody happy, not looking at you and going, "Oh, you're at the bottom. Get the fuck out." You know, I mean, you got to look at it.
But you got to look at the situation I'm in.
I understand.
I can't do that.
Yes, I understand that. I understand.
It's biting me.
I know. You haven't got any feedback on any jobs that you applied for?
I called ABR twice, and we're still thinking about you. That's the last thing.
You know what?
My wife has.
They offered me a job at Mariani's, but it's fucking 12-hour days.
I won't do it.
You know,
like I told them, but like I told them, no. Yes, I'm going to be picky because I'm 50 years old and I can't sit and do a 5-day-a-week, 12-hour days.
Lucky.
I can't do that anymore.
But you're lucky too that you don't get stuck being a greeter at Walmart.
Fuck, that would be, at least I know what I'm doing every fucking day.
I understand that, but you're lucky you're not getting stuck to that because you have options and you have other things behind
I understand
your belt,
that, but I'm saying at least a greeter at Walmart, at least I know what I'm doing every fucking day and how many hours I'm putting in. I have no fucking clue when I'm working, how many hours I'm going to work, and what I'm going to be doing.
I understand that.
And I don't like that feeling. I want to know what I'm doing, and I want to know the consistency of my paycheck every fucking week.
Yes, one of the women that my wife works with, her husband used to do the job that you're doing. Now he works for a different company now doing the same thing, and he's done it for years and years and years.
I give him all, I mean, it's not a bad job.
No,
I give them all the applaud to do what they do. You know, I mean,
I'm surprised
they protect the infrastructure of this world, of every community and every city and whatever we have.
I mean, if you lived in like Arizona, you
wouldn't
have to worry about it because you'd have a full-time job all year round. It's the location of where you work.
Right, right. You know, and I know that when I got into it, but not to this extreme, you know. But I mean, the infrastructure is important, you know. Without the infrastructure,
you got a lot of friends that own businesses. I'm surprised you can't find somebody that just give you a job for the winter.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, that's what I would do. Just work another job for the winter.
But again, I can't do that not knowing when I'm going to work, what days.
But you can set it up with your now boss and say, hey,
if I knew,
I hook this up. Give this extra time to these guys. I've got another job I can work the winter. I'll come back at the beginning of the season. This employer that I work with knows that I'm only going to be here temporarily. They're trying to help me out. I mean, you can work something out. I mean, go work at fucking Domino's. You know the owner of Domino's. Go drive a car around every now and then, you know? Oh, it's just because of the
No, and I know.
My mouse is on that, so
Even Ann told me that.
I would do it.
That
Fuck yeah.
if I wanted the extra cash.
What the fuck are you waiting for?
Because like I said, right now I'm still obligated on getting all this shit done before Christmas. And I have no idea what has to be done because they have, I mean, Monday we have 2 big jobs they have to get done. They've got a 4 mile fiber project they have to do. They got a 2 mile survey they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing it right now?
Because of the weather. Because of the weather.
Yeah, Sunday we're supposed to have 2 to 3 fucking inches of snow, and they want us to do all this on Monday. You know what's going to happen? They're going to call us back as soon as it gets nice, and we have to redo the whole fucking thing. They don't use their fucking minds. These people, when they do this shit.
It's a job. I mean,
No. That's not the job's a job. I understand that, but that you're not understanding.
What's
Are you going to turn around and call in a job to mark something for a survey or whatever else, knowing that Sunday they're going to have maybe possibly 2 to 3 inches of fucking snow on the ground? It's going to be fucking useless to even use that.
What happens if it goes over us and it doesn't hit us? At least you got the people on call ready to do the job.
Well, not necessarily, because anything below the Dells is going to have 1 to 2 inches. We're supposed to have the 2 to 3 inches.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And then above Wausau, it was supposed to be
there's a possibility that we may not get it.
But in this line of field, as long, I mean, even for 7 months, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
But in this line of field, when it gets this close to the wintertime, there's certain things you just don't call in when you know there's going to be a possibility of raining, freezing snow on the ground, and there's a possibility that all the marks are going to be gone and useless, and it don't mean a fucking thing. And now, guess what?
And now, you do it again.
Now you have to pay to have my ass come back out there again and do it all over again.
At least they're paying. At least they're paying.
Yeah, but now the point is why waste our time when we have more important things to do?
I understand.
Especially like a survey.
But normally by this time of year, we've got snow on the ground and you're not working anyway.
But the thing of it is, all the survey is they just want to know what's in the ground. So they can tentatively figure out what they're going to do. Not necessarily they're going to do it. It's just a survey. But we have other important... No, because we have other important things that have to get done before the ground freezes. We can't do because we have to do these freaking surveys because they want them done ASAP. But they don't understand... You know,
so it's a
survey don't mean shit for us.
Really, for you.
Like, let's say, like me.
But it means a lot to the people that have to plan out that area.
Because there's times where
we tell me the city planner doesn't need to know where lines are before they decide what roads are going to go where.
And that's not the point.
Well, but that's what a survey's for, right?
Not necessarily.
It's a preemptive look at what the area is, so they can do something.
It depends on what the survey's for. If they're like the one I've got for Monday, it's off of 25th and Gaynor. Over by Grandma's house, going all the way back down to the woods and up to Ingle a little ways. It's like 60 feet off of Ingle. Because they're redoing everything from 25th all the way to the dead end. They're redoing that whole section of road. Sewer, gutter, curb, everything else. Well, they want to do a survey to find out where all the gas lines are, the phone lines are, if there's fiber, whatever else, so they know what's involved. You know, while
because
they're
they got
doing
to look at the cost of what they're going to be doing and who.
Well,
has to
there's
get
a possibility.
involved.
There's a possibility they have to move. They have to move lines or something like this.
It's called job preparation.
But the thing of it is there's some companies that do these surveys and they don't even do them, and it's a waste of our time. And that's why we don't. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Some of us, they don't really take surveys really to heart. You know, we'll look at their prints and say, okay, this is where it is, and we'll go out there and we'll turn it all the way up and blast it through, and we'll just give them a rough estimate of where things are, but it's not accurate.
Yeah, but then you
because that's how much
you do it accurately later.
Right.
Yeah,
but it just gives them an idea. You know, I mean, it's not. You know, I mean, we would not.
I would look for us a winter job, but like I was saying with the weather.
No, I just want another job. I want something that's more consistent.
The weather, the way it's been the last couple of years. Normally, you're not working right now anyway. That job.
But the thing of it is too. Even in the summertime, if you got a rain, I mean, if it's raining hard for 4 fucking days, you don't work because you can't work in the fucking rain either. It's like construction. I mean, this is like construction, but this is like an outside. But this is like in a construction.
It is part of construction.
You know? And
it's the
I
first
just,
part.
you know, I don't want
step in it.
I didn't like. I mean, I don't like construction for that reason. I mean, I would like to do it, but I don't like the idea where when it gets way too cold, rainy, or whatever else. It's hard to work in that. You know, where some companies say, well,
is it possible to take this type of job and contract yourself out as an independent?
Yeah.
Then you can make a lot more money.
Yeah, but you got to get all your equipment, though.
Yeah,
but then
I'd have to
spend
spend $30,000 on equipment and stuff like
I'm
this.
just saying, is it possible? Because if you do that, then you're able to save the money through the summertime.
No, not
so
necessarily.
You don't have to work
not necessarily, because then if, as a private contractor, doing it myself, if I go on somebody's land and they turn around and they want me, but what happens if I mismarked a 1,200 pair phone line and somebody hit it? That could cost up to $100,000. That's the liability I would not.
I think that's the whole reason he doesn't want to do this job anymore, because it's too stressful. So why would he do it?
It could be that.
Why don't you just find some? Try to find something
temporarily, man.
different.
All these people in town that are business owners, I'm sure you can find something as a temporary, just to get you through until you actually find what you're looking for.
Jobs aren't flowing like fucking rivers either, like they used to.
Thanks to the House and Representatives and the Senate, they don't want to fucking help anything else.
So your week sucks. All right, next 6.
It's not really sucks. It's just fucking I don't like the whole.
I just recently found out that I've got a new job. So
full-time job.
Full-time job.
Offered a job. Where at? Well, not where at, but obviously with me, where I work. But
well, I don't know. Should we say the name on there?
I wouldn't. I
No.
don't want to get in fucking trouble.
It's a publishing company. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
We make books.
Yeah.
No, I just want to do something that I would like to do.
Well, we all would.
Put it this way.
Well, there's a lot of jobs that not a lot of people enjoy doing, but they just do it.
Yeah, I know, but I would like to do a job that I would enjoy doing, not that I have to worry about all the time.
You could tolerate, at least.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I enjoy this job. It's something completely different than I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
But there's just so many little things that just turns me off on it that I just don't want to do it no more. And I'm not a person that, that just don't want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that.
Well, start eating carrots.
But
you might lose your job
I
again.
don't think a carrot is gonna screw up that.
And again, that's the stupidity of the fucking company to do something like this. I mean, it's just.
So you got a job. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. He's bitching about his job, and you're bitching because you didn't have one. Now you got one.
Yeah.
The only bad part of it is, I'm getting to that. I mean, I'm going to be, less than a month.
Yeah,
or a little over, just a little bit. I'll be 50, and and I'm just worried that some of the places you apply at, they see the age you are, they don't want to hire you because you're 50.
It depends upon what it is. I mean, granted, they're not going to want you lifting rocks and throwing.
They always say they're not being discriminatory, but they are.
You don't know in the back of their mind what they're really thinking about you. When I first started working for Veolia, I was 40, 44. 43, something like that when I started, or 45, somewhere. I can't remember exactly. No, 45. I was 44 when I started there.
Mid-40s.
Because I was there for 6 years. Or no, I was 43. I was 43 when I started there.
42, because if it's 6 years and you're not even 50 yet, I would say 42.
So I don't remember, but it was somewhere like that. I was, and the one guy hired me right on the spot, But then I find out that the boss and this other guy told the ops manager to get rid of me. I'm too old. I wouldn't be able to handle the job. But yet I could outrun and outdo everybody there. I mean, there was 20-year-olds that were doing the same fucking job as I was, and I was outworking them. Yeah. And when I found that out, I actually went up to the boss and I asked him, I said, I hear that you really wanted me you didn't want to hire me because of my age. I said, I proved you wrong, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I said, you don't turn around and look at somebody's age. And
but that guy, that the guy that was a big old fuckface?
He's gone now,
yeah. 38 years old and was running a company, and he got fucking fired because he don't know how to manage a company.
Oh, he was 38 years in the company, not 38 years old.
No, he was 38 years old. Oh. Yeah. Big fat ass.
Yeah, but that age that's being discriminative there too, because that age doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's doing. He just didn't know what he was doing. His age didn't have anything to do with it.
Sometimes that age does say you don't know how to do the job that you're supposed to be doing because you're not experienced enough to know how to do things. He could have been a manager, but he could have been a half-ass manager, not been taught right how to do anything.
Yeah.
And then he could think
he could have came from McDonald's or
he could run a multi-billion-dollar company.
So he was book smart from school. He didn't have
and that's a possibility. He could have been very book smart.
Look at my wife. She's 37 and she's basically in charge of 30 people. She manages a multi-billion-dollar company in that area of that company. She does a great job. I mean,
some people can manage people better than other people.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's good at it.
For older people don't like really taking direction from younger people either. We know that for a fact through.
But you have to look at it this way as a mindset. If you are, I don't give a shit. Like for me, if I've got a 30-year-old telling me what to do, and which I kind of have, because in my job, my supervisor is only 36, 37 years old. Okay, I'm going to be 50.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking directions from him. You know,
If he knows what he's doing.
like I told them, tell me what I have to do, I'll do it. There's no complaints.
Mhm.
You know, I'll do what I have to do to get the job done. And you know, even as a boss, you know, when we had the restaurant for the 7 years, you know, that's all I expected out of everybody that worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it, and we'll get along very fine. You buck the system, you do something you're not supposed to do, that's when we're going to have problems. You know, and that's the way you got to look at it, you know. So
You got to move your car or give her the keys. And for those of you on Google Plus that are watching right now, you can go to the chat side and start chatting it up if you want. So, well, yeah, and we call this one the employment show. I mean, on all the jobs that I've ever had, you know, the job that I'm at right now is actually giving me more knowledge on how business works and standardization and quality and control and the things that we do. Just because I got my job where I work just to get money to go get a college education, and fortunately something came up and I was able to move around and do something that I thought would be interesting to do in life, which is basically make books and be a part of the biggest production aspect of making a book.
That's a big business.
Oh, it is, and it's unbelievable when you look at manufacturing and how many things get lost in the idea of what actually takes to make something. But
and I know because I worked for Wingos and Sons up in New Coosa for almost 2 years.
yeah, they're no longer around.
No, they're no longer there. But I mean, I have that experience too. I mean, I worked for them for 2 years.
Well,
You know,
I'm not putting you down, but
No, but
right now the book industry is nothing like it used to be.
But they
so.
just printed single. They didn't print books there.
Hey, I got 13
They didn't
days
have-
of
they didn't-
experience screen printing shirts.
But you know the thing. You know, they didn't have the digital quality
it's
that is
completely
today.
different now, yeah.
I mean, they ran on an old.
Well, and the
They ran on
benefit-
an old 200-year-old German press.
Yeah.
You know, to make
Mhm.
placemats and what was
Single
it?
print
Single
size,
print
yeah.
shit. You know, with 4, 5, 6, or 9
Or
colors, whatever it is.
two-sided,
You know.
you were like one of Ebenezer Scrooge's first employees, right?
Yeah, but the thing of it is I mean, I know what the industry's like, but I mean, it's changed since then.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, the same thing like with management, though. Same thing. I mean, it's changed from then to now, but it's no different than when I did it. It's that as long as you treat your employees with respect, you get the respect back, and you should get the
Well,
the
and
result out of it.
every job is continually changing for its aspect or what it's doing. So when you look at, you bring up management. I mean, management's continuously changing because of legal laws and what's going on with,
Oh yeah.
what you can and cannot do with the employee or the associate. For us, we're all associates. We all own the company, so
Right.
there's no employees there. Unless you're subcontracted to come in and fix something, now you're an employee because you're working for us.
Right.
But the benefit for me is I got into the printing industry when things were kind of old, but yet becoming new.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to learn the old and also was transitioning into learning the new. And I could take what I learned from before and apply it to what is coming, and it makes things a lot easier. I've been in the printing industry for 13 years now.
You just had your
13
anniversary
years,
on the 5th, right?
Yep, on the 5th. And it's actually 13 years
It's kind of funny how
3 months, but
you and I are basically starting
almost at
in the same
points.
month.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I found out that on Friday is my orientation, so that following Sunday is when I'm actually full-fledged employee.
Yeah,
Or
because
associate, I should say.
are they grandfathering you into all the time you've already spent there?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's something I have to talk to.
Because you got that 30,
HR lady
60 day grace period before you
Yeah, but they
actually
should be able to
mark.
waive that because he's been there long enough. They know
Yeah,
exactly
but he
how he's
worked
going to
under.
work.
Yeah, but he worked as a temp. It's not. He wasn't.
Yeah, but
as an
still, he
part-time.
worked for the company though too, so they should know what he.
No.
So
He worked at the company for another company. That's what temps are.
right,
I
but
do
they should
retain
know.
some
They
knowledge
should
of
know
what's
what
going
he
on.
has done, and they should give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been there since.
But I
he
think
has the
everything
time.
is basically wiped clean, though, once you...
Yes. Once
I
you
think it
start
starts all
fresh,
over.
you have your 60-day period before your insurance kicks in and all that other stuff.
I know, it's a crock of shit.
Then you've got so many years before you become 100% invested in the ESOP, and you start getting share values and stuff like that. So,
That's a bunch of crap.
no, it's not.
Not
It's
an
a business.
apprenticeship, it's an internship
Internship.
for 3 years.
They call it
I think.
internship. I was on an apprenticeship. It was a 3-year apprenticeship program. Every 6 months you got a raise until you were at your level. And it really,
Well, that's kind of like what
you know,
Robert's at with his job.
yeah, but his is more of an
pre-apprentice.
apprenticeship.
Well,
This is just a training
he had a
process.
pre-apprenticeship. He's done with his pre-apprenticeship. Now he's working into his apprenticeship program. So by the time he gets done,
in his trade, it's actually considered an apprenticeship. And what we're doing is just a training process. It's not really like I'm going through to become a pipe fitter. You know, that's a different apprenticeship. Because
but I'm just saying. But
you
he
know,
had to go through so many months or whatever for pre-apprenticeship.
I'll be an intern, but I'm not wearing no fucking blue dress. I tell you that much.
stick a cigar up your ass. Fucking snatch your sweet. Well, I mean, you know, it's a good conversation when you talk about, you know, employment, because everybody has a different type of employment or something that they do differently. And you know,
I mean, there's some jobs out there you kind of take for granted. It's like, I'm going to be here forever. It's like my previous job. I mean, you lose it in a heartbeat, and then you got to fucking start from
it's
scratch.
not like that anymore. Business is not like that.
They don't
anymore.
give a fuck.
You
no
cannot
more.
go.
They
I mean,
could care less.
unless it's your business or you're in a type of business where you can control your employment with that company, then you know you can retire with a place like that. But
see, that's why people enjoyed us as bosses when we ran it. You know, just because due to the economy we couldn't keep the doors open.
But it was a place they knew they could stay.
It's just a fucking. It's just a pain in the ass. You got like 16 years of experience in a company, and they pretty much just fucking throw you out like trash. Basically.
It's a benefit to have that, but like for me right now, you know, the 13 years I have if I go out to someplace else, what qualifications do I have other than what fits into the printing industry? So that's why I put myself into other things like becoming a quality auditor and an environmental auditor and a first responder and all these other things. These are traits that I can take into something else.
True. I suppose I probably could find a robotic welding job.
Writing work instructions.
But not
creating processes and flow maps to make a production or a manufacturing line go better. Coming up with ways to save money for the company and doing all these things and documenting them and keeping control of that documentation. That's a benefit for a company. Or when you go to another company and you say, I understand quality control, I understand your environmental controls, I understand processes, I write work instructions, you know, I'm a lead auditor, so I know how to lead people and control a group of people and make them do what they need to do and get them to do what they need to do, document that process, as well as communicate that process to upper management and do all those types of things. Those are good qualifications to take to any job. But to go in and be on a line and shove paper in a pocket or bundle or run plates for a press, those qualifications don't matter for anyone else.
Yeah, but everybody's got to start out at that job. I mean, you even started out doing what I'm doing.
But that necessarily, some of those requirements don't mean nothing unless if you haven't done it in the last 3 years. Because I found out, you know, having over 2.2 million miles under my belt for driving a big truck.
Things change.
Getting into there, you have to have every job for driving now. If it's for like a semi,
by federal.
Well, no. Just hold on. Any job that deals with the DOT, and they have to have a verification for the last 3 years prior to employment of driving that specific truck.
Is that for every company that has semis?
Every company's that way
not just
now.
the one that you tried out for?
No, I can't even go back to Windy Hill if I wanted to. If I couldn't go back there for the nether.
Well, how the hell are you supposed to get experience driving again if they won't allow you to drive semi?
13 years of driving a semi, 2.2 million miles. Yeah, you don't forget how to drive a truck. I guarantee you. It's just like riding a fucking bike. They will not hire me back unless I have had the last 3 years of verified experience.
That was just one company,
like I said,
isn't it?
Some things that I've learned
but there's
don't
a
mean
reason,
a fucking bean.
But there's a reason for that 3-year grace period or that period that they're looking for.
No, you have to drive. You have to show experience in the last 3 years.
You've
driven that truck
straight. You drove that big truck, isn't it a CDL truck?
No,
the dump truck, the garbage truck.
You need it more.
No, because the one I was going for was a shuttle. Right here in Rapids for Great White.
Yeah.
And you had to have the experience in the last 3 years of a 45-footer or bigger. That truck was under 35 feet.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean nothing. It was a straight truck. They wanted you to have experience in the last 3 years of a 45.
But that's not every business.
So far, every company out there for a truck driver You have to have the last 3 years
That's a
of
good conversation.
verifying.
We'll have to have that with
You
Well,
have
then
to have
what
a
the fuck?
verified. You have to verify it from your past employer.
Then how do you get experience if that's what they want you to
have
do?
to get into it.
You got to go. You got to go to like a
Back
diesel
to truck
driving school or something
again?
like
That's
this.
fucked up. You already did that. Why you
Well,
do it
that's
again?
why. That's why I told the lady. That's
because
why.
things do change over time.
Well, but see, that's why I
fucking
told the
dumb.
lady. I mean, I wasn't really snotty with this lady.
Well, I would
But
be.
but
That's
no,
the way you talk. I'm sure you were.
no.
So you want me to go back to school for
no,
shit I've done?
When
already?
I deal with people, it's completely different than how I talk with you
I
guys.
know. I'm giving you shit, Ice. Calm down.
When I talk to this lady
Listen,
down
you
in,
bitch.
she's from Texas. The company Great White is
gonna
actually out of Texas.
turn invisible and break your chest.
But I told her, I says, you're kidding me. I says, after almost 13 years, almost 13 years of driving big truck when I was younger, I says 2.2 million miles. That doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I said shit because it's just a conversation we had. I says that don't mean no, doesn't mean shit. And she says no, you have to have verified for the last 3 years. I says I could come down to Texas right now where you guys are. I can jump in any one of your trucks. And I bet you I could outmaneuver, outback, and out whatever any of your drivers can. I says, because I says, with my knowledge and what I used to do, I says, I used to back in any freaking hole.
Wrong choice of words.
No,
For this show,
not if you were a truck driver.
For this show, it's the wrong choice of words.
But now listen, she knew exactly what I was talking about. I says, I could back up
Almost
into any.
there.
Let me finish this though. But I told her, I said I could back up in any hole on a dime. No big time.
Yeah.
Well, I says I've come across people that had 20, 30 years of experience driving a truck that could not back their truck up into a dock. Could not. I says there was times in Georgia that there was a place.
But they have the 3 years you don't.
No. But there was a place that in Georgia that we used to deliver all the time for Windy Hill. When I got there, I had to jump into people's trucks to put them in the docks because they couldn't do it. Fuck, they were there for 2-3 fucking hours and they couldn't get it in there. I get in it, one shot, it's right there.
Yeah, but us and Dreesens have a different way of thinking.
But I understand that. But the thing
do
of it is
things
that what pisses you off though is that I could have had a job at 17 or 18.85 an hour. Shagging trailers.
The shagging.
Backing in the rear of the shagging a trailer.
Shagging a trailer. Well, that's what they call it. They
Yeah.
trailers from Nakusa to Appleton to Madison, Wausau.
So
I
you
mean,
get
in
around.
the greater central Wisconsin.
Talk to Brian.
Home every night. No,
Talk
I
to
mean,
Brian from GarageCast. Maybe he can hook you up with a job with a company for
I do
him
not
in this
want to
area.
drive. I don't want to drive big truck over the road.
Well, then what are you bitching about? You're talking about
Regional is different than over the road.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to deal with the DOT.
I know what you're
DOT
talking
completely is different than when I was driving truck.
Yeah.
I mean, today it's like you
With your
have
blood pressure, you couldn't get a job anyway.
a bullshit.
You got.
Like I said, I've had more jobs and
tests.
more experience. I mean, I shouldn't say more jobs, but more experience. But I mean, I've done so many different things in my life, and very, very.
And I know it's
well at
frustrating. I know it's frustrating.
But again, when you get to that age of 50 years old, you don't know what those people are thinking, especially when you go into an office and you talk to this gentleman or this woman that are in their 20s or early 30s, and you sit down and you let them
Fresh
know
out
that
of college.
you let them know that you're 50 years old, and they ask you some of your experiences you've had in life, and you start rattling off, well, this is what I've done, this is what I've done this, and I've done this, and I've done this, and they look at me like, oh my God, he's done everything.
Well, sometimes you may be too overqualified, and they may not want that either. But if you ever say you're backing in a hole, I don't think anybody's going to hire you. Or shagging. We're just trying to light it up a little, Ice. We understand. It's frustrating.
I mean, I didn't expect to be in this situation at all.
No, you didn't.
I expected to retire with where I was. Actually, I expected to own a business until I retired myself, give it to my kids, and be done with it. Shit happens. Thank God for the government. They fuck everything up. And
everybody gets dealt a shit hand.
Well, the small man never wins.
But I mean, there's, like I said, I was talking. I mean, I got this thing emailed to me for this new job, and I'm going to try to, I'm going to apply for it and see what happens. A 4-day week. I mean, it's a delivery. It's a sales delivery thing for Chinkas. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Chinkos.
Chinkas. It's
C-A-I-N-C-O.
no, C-I-N-T-A-S.
Cinco.
Or something like Cintas. Or
Cintas.
Cintas. That's what it is.
Chinkos.
Well, I don't.
That's a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, shit. I enjoy being around people all the time. I mean, that's what I've used to do all my life. Most of the things I've done has been with people and associate with people, and I enjoy doing that. And you know, and they want people that can communicate and work with their customers and stuff like that, and build a rapport with them, so we keep the contracts and all this other stuff, you know. And
well, what about like doing like speedy delivery stuff? That's, I mean, it's probably not what you want for pay, but it's better
I went
than
over there.
nothing.
No, I went over there, applied, and
That's like starts at 12.
There was the little box trucks that they had, and it was it was like 13 something an hour they started with.
Oh, that's not bad.
But then they didn't have that position open. They wanted me to go into the big truck and run California and back. And I go, no, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not. Anything that deals with leaving the state of Wisconsin, I'm not doing it anymore.
Unless going to GarageCast and talking with those guys.
No, but I'm talking. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, if a company came up if a company that came up with, you know, that I had to go from Wisconsin Rapids to, you know, to let's say Appleton or Milwaukee,
central location.
Isn't that what Kurt does?
Yeah, but he goes to Minneapolis, which isn't bad, you know. But he has to leave the state. So guess what? He has to keep a logbook and he has to deal with DOT. They will nail his ass if he's not keeps things up to date. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to stay within 150 miles, and of.
Why don't you just get a webcam, start jerking off on the internet, and have people charge us or pay for watching you jerk off?
I could just put a sympathy web thing on there and say, just give me $1, you know, feel sorry for me. Yeah, you know, you get a million people, but if you get a million people give you $1, hell,
do you really want to stoop that low, though?
Well, Kevin Smith said that one time. He was in Smodcast. He's like, you know, I could fund my movie by just putting out there, you know, like my friends list or my followers list on Twitter. If I went to everyone that followed me on Twitter and asked for $1, I'd have $2 million to make a movie, you know. And I'm sure everybody would do it. I'd fucking donate $1, you know. So if you think about it,
what's $1?
You donate more than that. You put $5 in.
Oh, but you know what? You know, I would. You know, if you ever sent me a message say I'm looking for $1 to fund my next movie, fuck yeah, I'd give you $1.
You'd probably blow your load in the $5 and give it to them.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Did you know though?
I'm your biggest fan.
Did you know that Mountain Dew can dissolve a mouse?
Are we changing subjects now or what?
Well, we finally got off ice. We're getting a Mountain Dew.
Did you know that Mountain Dew can dissolve a mouse on contact?
I put this way. I probably had about 5 or 6 Mountain Dews my whole life. That's how much
This is some crazy news around the world.
Somebody actually try that?
January 3rd of this year, defending itself from a lawsuit claiming that an Illinois man found a dead mouse inside a can of Mountain Dew. The PepsiCo contains contents that a rodent would have disintegrated and been disformed into a jelly-like substance between the time of the soft drink bottling and the day that the plaintiff opened the can.
So the mouse went into the bottle during packaging.
Or maybe it was in the bottle at first, and then he just filled it up, not knowing that it was in there. Because I can't see one just want to take a fucking jacuzzi bath and watch Mountain Dew.
Half of an American society takes a jacuzzi bath in their tummy with it. It's ridiculous.
But it says here, though,
that's some people's vices. Like it's beer for other people and fucking cigarettes.
But it says in a court response to a motion filed by Ronald Ball, who claimed he had found a dead mouse in a Mountain Dew can about 3 years ago.
We've heard stuff like that.
PepsiCo filed a fantastic revolving affidavit or whatever it was. A vegetarian who noted that he was familiar with the effect of the acidity fluid, such as a common soda drinks, including in Mountain Dew, will have on a mice or any other mammal. It says here that if a mouse is submerged into Mountain Dew between 4 and 7 days, the rodent will have no calcium in its bones and the bony structure. During those days, the soft drink being immersed, the mouse's abdomen structure will rupture. Automatically, its cranium cavity head is also likely to rupture within that time period. After 30 days of exposure, Mountain Dew, all the mouse's structure will then have disintegrated to a point that it would not be recognized. And then it says,
hold on. Six wants to say something.
The title of that is false then. It's not like you fucking touch Mountain Dew and you fucking disintegrate. That's got to be in there a week or so.
That's what they're trying to prove.
They've even said that Coca-Cola, if you put a fucking ribeye steak or something in it, it fucking dissolves it. It's just
That's why this Lawrence McGill from the PepsiCo company, he's trying to prove a point that this can't happen. This is good. It has to take time. Yeah. Now they're talking, But then he says that, in fact, the mouse will have been deformed into a jelly-like substance. The only part of the rodent that would possibly survive, McGill said, is a portion of its tail.
So, hypothetically, or speaking off of what you had mentioned, this guy opens up a can of Mountain Dew, starts drinking, and it's more of a jelly-like substance. And then he's like, ugh, yuck. And then he dumps the can out in the sink,
because
and there's a rat tail in there, or something part of a rat tail. So that's probably what led to it.
His claim was,
this
guy's claim was, though, it was between the time of the soft drink that was bottled and the day the plaintiff reportedly purchased the soda from the vending machine. Yeah. So don't know this time span there. I mean, it could have been 5 days, it could have been 10 days, 10.
But you think about everybody's quality control. I mean, that's what everybody's been trying to fucking cash in on something. Oh, I found something inside my bottle.
Did you see that video that was on the internet about that little girl at Disney that got bit by a dolphin?
Got bit by a dolphin?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if she didn't get fucking bit by the dolphin, went for the goddamn package that had the goddamn sardines in it.
Well, but
and it went across her and grabbed her hand and pulled the package.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? That fucking dolphin, she waved it over the fucking water, and the dolphin just went for it.
And you're not supposed to do that. That was one of the rules.
Fucking child needs to shut the fuck up.
So
Parents need to learn to shut the fuck up.
What, they want to sue Disney?
Yeah, no. They don't want to.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. They were on Good Morning America. They were on Good Morning America with the girl, and they were talking to her. And the parents said that they're not going to do anything with
lawsuit.
No, they're not going to have no lawsuit or anything. The only thing that they wanted, like they said, she forgot the rules in a split moment. They were there the day before.
So then why is it fucking news?
Well, this is what I mean, because I don't know exactly how it all got out.
Because the parents put it up on the internet, hoping they would get something out of it.
No.
And then when the media and everyone got involved, they were like,
they really said they didn't want nothing. They didn't want nothing from.
Wait a minute.
This goes back to the whole Walmart thing with the fucking thing burning down. You can't blame Walmart. You have to blame the facility that the fucking person worked at.
Yes. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
You can't. Yeah. You can't sit there and blame Walmart. Yeah, they're going to be.
You can't blame Disney because a goddamn dolphin bit somebody because somebody didn't follow the fucking rules.
It's the person that was setting up.
That's the point the mother and the father said. For a split moment, she forgot the rules.
And
she moved it, and it went out.
And that's what.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
So let's go back to the conversation we had last week with Walmart, where you and Gigi were saying, "Yeah, Walmart's to blame." Now, in that instance, Walmart could be to blame for a lot of more things than what happened.
They're at fault for hiring this dumbass.
But he didn't follow the rules, and he didn't do what he should have done. That guy's to blame, just like that girl's to blame for waving her hand over the fucking water and letting the dolphin come up and bite her.
Because Walmart's name is attached to it.
Yes.
They want to go after the multi-million-dollar company to get some money.
Thank you.
You know?
Okay.
I agree with you. You can't just blame
He's bringing up the Walmart thing again.
Yes, I am, because there was some new things about this. This is just a
Gigi would be
we brought the horse back to life.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna bring a horse back to life. It's alive! Just to beat it back to death.
No. This was just reported just on the 7th. This was all updated on the 7th of the news on everything that happened here in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we get this right.
As you're looking for that, before you get to it, I'm going to keep talking.
I'm right here.
Hold on, can I keep talking? So, and that's what really pissed me off about that story with the dolphin. You know, I saw that. I don't give a shit what the deal is. It should have never made it on big fucking time news. It should have never made it all over CNN, because there's 1,000 kids that were at that facility at that time that probably did the same fucking thing. And for some reason, these parents may have posted the fucking image online or the video online, and then, of course, it snowballed. I guarantee you, in the beginning, their first thought was, what can we get out of it?
Yep.
But the second everyone else in the world started bitching about it, they probably rethought what they were saying, and then when they got on the TV, they were like, oh, no, we don't want any money. Really, we do, because we're fucking poor like everyone else. But we want to make sure that kids understand that they need to follow the rules.
Well, yeah, that's why the rules are set forth like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those people like on Shark Week when they go out to the fucking ocean and they touch the snout of the great white shark.
Yeah.
Now they probably tell them before they even go on the fucking boat, you do it at your own risk. If something happens, we can't be held liable.
Well, it's like that. Now this is going to bring up another topic, but in the Dells, there's that girl that fucking died because she did the extreme thing, did a bungee jump or a free fall or whatever, and they didn't raise the net right. Well, that's the person that did the job. He didn't do his job right. Now there's a stigma over that extreme place, and I don't even think they're around anymore. I think other businesses bought their equipment and are doing it now. But I think that whole place had to go down because that one person died. Well, I did the bungee jump there a couple times. You have to sign a waiver that says they are not liable for any accidents that happen. I'm putting my own risk, my life at my own risk to do this. Yeah. So you go out and put your hand on a fucking snout of a great white, and it actually grabs you, pulls you in, and eats you and kills you. You're a fucking idiot.
I mean, it would be cool to see a great white shark, but I don't know if I'm fucking gutsy enough to put my hand down by its fucking mouth.
Exactly.
You know, and it's a wild animal. It's gonna say, "Ooh, it's fucking free food."
Yeah, and I put a Facebook.
Granted, I'd be a fucking appetizer, but still.
Yeah, you'd be a fucking toothpick. Toothpick for the previous meal. No, but I put a post on Facebook about that dolphin thing, and I put a comment on there. This is just ridiculous. When you enter the realm of an animal, you have to think, I'm going to get bit.
They're an animal.
I'm going to get bit. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking koala, a dolphin, a goddamn ant, even a worm is going to shit on you. You got to know you're in their realm. They don't have the human conscience like we do, to a morality of thinking, oh, I shouldn't do that.
Their first thing they want to do is defense. They want to defend themselves.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like a fucking stray cat out there. You go out and pick up a stray cat.
Feral
the fucker's gonna sit there and fucking scratch at you or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Dog's gonna bite you.
Yep. And I learned that right away. I went one time. I found a cat. I took the cat. I picked it up and I carried it by 2 dogs, and the goddamn cat scratched the living shit out of me trying to get away. Ever since then, I know better.
It didn't know that you were trying to protect it. It
No.
just says, I want to get the fuck out of here.
I wanted to see what would happen with the dog and the cat. I wanted to see dogs really chase cats.
I don't know. you with the fucking cats. I mean, when you were a kid, you fucking cut off your cat's whiskers, and those are supposed to be on their face so they wouldn't get stuck anywhere.
I did things to learn why they are the way they are. It's not like I was trying to be. I didn't torture animals. I didn't do that.
You didn't turn into Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, oh fuck no.
But
I mean, I like to eat things, but I don't like to eat that.
Well, when we went down to Branson, Missouri a few years ago, we went to this like exotic animal petting zoo thing, and they had actually stingrays, or what are they, stingrays? Mm-hmm. You could feed them. You can get a piece of shrimp and stick it between your fingers, and they tell you got manta rays. Yeah, I don't think the ones that fucking killed Steve Irwin. But they said you have to put the shrimp in between your 2 fingers. Put it down against the wall, and they'd come up and hover against the wall and suck it right out of your hand. But if you didn't have it right, you'd probably get bit. Yeah. Now, I bet you some dumbass over there didn't follow rules either. What are they going to sue that place to?
Well, put it this way. If somebody had to get bit for them to tell you that detail. And it is what it is, you know. And when people try to fuck companies or businesses like that, I mean, this Walmart thing, they probably are to blame. You know what? They fucking are. Okay, but the idea that
they're what it says here, though. They're at fault for hiring this person. He didn't follow the rules.
Well, there's
safety rules.
But there's also other things that come into play when it comes to that.
And I mean, there's actually a couple of different articles, and I'll just kind of hit a couple of things here. There actually was 112 people that were killed. 100 people died in the fire. 12 people died after the fire from jumping out of the building, and 100 people were hurt. Had 2nd and 3rd degree burns, which are still alive. But it says here that the garment factory in Bangladesh, where the fire took 112 people making clothes for Walmart without the giant U.S. retailer's knowledge. That's what they're saying here. Walmart said that's what they said on Day.
So
they recant or what?
In the statement, Walmart said that Tazareen Fashion LDT or LTD factory was no longer authorized to produce merchandise for Walmart, but the supplier subcontractor worked to it in direct violation in our policies. No, they're using somebody else as a fall guy. I'm almost positive.
Well, that's probably what's happening.
Because
this brings into what I said last week, is that
they're using
a
subcontractor, fall guy, but they're using a fall guy that was there. We didn't have anything to do with it. But then it says where is it? It says today we have terminated the relationship with that supplier. Now this was.
At that moment, okay, go on.
And the America's biggest retailer said, in fact, that this occurred is eventually troubled to us, and we will continue to work across the apparel industry to improve fire safety, education, and training in Bangladesh.
That's a legal statement.
They're just saying that. So for this company, since they've been terminated, they won't be back.
Yeah.
Because it says here the blaze
on Saturday. We've eliminated one facility that sucks, so we're better.
But it says the blaze on Saturday is one of the deadliest fires of its kind in Bangladesh, and threw a spotlight on the way the country countries' garment factories often ignore safety in the rush of the supply major retailers in the U.S., Europe.
Yeah, all it takes is one instance like that for any industry to start making standards a different way.
But it says here more than 200 people have died over in the past 6 years in garment factory fires in Bangladesh, including the blaze that killed 63 in 2006. Okay, and then it goes down as that. Where was it here? It was talking about all the different other factories here. Okay, it says right here, this is the one. It says Walmart did not say why it dropped the Tarzine factory, but in 2012, the Global Responsibility Report, Walmart said it stopped working with 49 factories in Bangladesh in 2011 because of fire safety issues. That's an online record appeared to indicate that the factory was given a high-risk safety factor after inspection in May of 2011, and a medium risk rating in August of 2011.
It goes back to what I was saying last week. So
no, remember that blaze that happened in Rhode Island at a bar called the Station when a Great White played there?
Yeah.
Now they tried to. I think they sued both Great White and the owner of the bar because Great White felt bad because I think over 100 and some people died in that blaze.
Well, it's not just they felt bad; it was their pyrotechnics.
Yeah, but the owner gave them the okay to do it indoor. But if you saw the video, the fucking ceilings are no higher than what it is in here in the pod room.
Yeah.
And whatever was on the ceiling was very flammable. They should have known better not to do pyrotechnics inside
That's why Great White was to blame for partial,
But it's almost the same thing. They always want somebody to compensate the survivors.
Put it this way, I'm gonna be somewhat of a dick and a devil's advocate here. This shit wouldn't happen, and those people in those countries would be alive if American businesses would stay in America. We have standards. We have legal things put into place. We have OSHA.
And I agree.
We have industry standards that are put into place so these things don't happen. If you keep your business in America, people in other countries wouldn't die because of this. So now, I blame the business. I blame Walmart. I blame Target. I blame
IKEA.
I blame fucking any company that goes overseas and something happens.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Now I'm going to say they're to blame.
Yeah. I mean, all these companies.
Say fucking German.
They want to save, but the thing of it is they want to save money because they can hire cheap labor and produce more in those third world countries. And I understand
they're saving whatever they would have paid us in the United States.
But if they stay in the United States and every job, or what was the whole thing is every job that is created, $1.2 million go back in the United States or something like this. So it was something like that. I can't remember. For every job or every two jobs, it was a statistic that every American job, every American company would generate so much money off of one job if it stayed here. But that's money back into the United States. Look at all the money that we owe China, Japan.
China's
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, they own a lot of our property.
They own us. We're like fucking slaves.
And then we allow
it's just and we allow
all the rag fucking heads over there in Saudi Arabia to own all our banks and all our credit card companies. No, I'm not talking about the. I'm not.
Well, they own the fucking oil and gas.
I'm talking about the Saudi Arabian people that they make millions and millions off of oil. And the United States comes back. The United States let them come here, and they can buy so much property with so much business to a certain percent. But that percentage, though, goes well back to them.
Yeah, but
it doesn't stay here.
It's no different than the North. It's no different than the
you can't go to Mexico
coming to our country because they helped us in the
You
Vietnam
cannot
War.
go to Mexico. But I'll tell you this: you cannot go to Mexico to open a business because you're an American. You cannot do that.
Somebody that lives there has to be a part of it.
Right. Yes. You have to have a native Mexican or Mexican. Yeah. You have to have somebody that's native of Mexico, has to be at least 49% partner with you before you could do that.
But 49% is still not.
You're not controlling. It's not controlling. Exactly. But it's enough to say he is part of that business.
But as I was saying, though, if you take American business, you keep American business in our country. Who gives a shit if you can't produce enough for everybody? What that starts to do then is it stops the excess that this country has, and it stops the laziness that people have, because then the value of that goes up, and that forces people to actually work and make money to get the things they actually want. Not everybody should have. I mean, I agree. This is a free country. Not everybody should have, you know, a $50,000 car driving down the road.
Really, is this a free country? Really,
Well,
is it?
Let's not get there, but
I'm just saying.
Well,
really,
we have
is this
more
a free
freedom
country?
than
it's
a
a lot
lot
more
of
free than a lot of other countries.
Yeah, but we were a lot more free 30 years ago than we are today.
But let's not. That's a different conversation.
Nobody's really telling you what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go where you
Yeah, they
please.
are.
Yeah, they are.
In a roundabout
You
way.
can come
they
and
are.
go where you please. Nobody's going
Yeah.
to tell you.
No, well, I'm just saying. I mean, I buy a vehicle. You know, I buy a $9,000, $10,000, or $20,000 vehicle. That's my vehicle. Government don't own it. I paid my taxes on it. I should be able to sit inside it and smoke. I should be able to ride down the fucking road without a seatbelt on. It's my vehicle. If I want to take my life in my hands, that's my job.
No,
Why
let's
should
say
the
you get
government-
10 parking tickets and you don't pay them. It's not your vehicle anymore. They repossess it,
Well,
take it away.
because that's part of
So
the
you
rule
really
and
don't
regulation.
own anything, because the government can come in and take
But
it
that's
away.
beside the point. If you're going to be negligent doing that, yes, then you should have it taken
But
away.
you still don't own it.
That's like if you drink and drive,
Mhm.
and you have 13 DUIs. How did it get that far?
Mhm.
After the first one, you shouldn't have a fucking vehicle. You shouldn't have.
But that has nothing to do with keeping business in America. That's what
Well,
we were talking about.
But I'm just saying.
You know,
I
I mean, if the companies in this country were to keep jobs in America, then the quality of the products that we have would be more, the value of it would be more, and people would actually work hard enough to get the things
We
that
would
they
have
really
enough
need.
taxes to pay off the deficit. We'd have enough
We'd
stuff
have
to
a
take
lot.
care of things.
We would have
And
a
we
lot.
wouldn't have to be fighting and headlocked into this fiscal cliff bullshit because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I heard this comment. I don't know where I read it or if I heard it on a news channel or another podcast, but they said something about there should be a limitation when it comes to government officials. If they can't balance the budget in a year and a half of their being in their job,
They shouldn't be
they're
there
out the
anymore
fucking door. You get fired.
because they're
You
not
can't
doing
have a
their job.
cushion of sitting there for 10, 15, 20 years and not improving our society democratically at all. You know, I mean,
Even after they retire, they get a fucking kickback.
and that's ridiculous.
Free
part,
health
you know.
care and all
If
that
I go to
shit.
my job and I don't do my job, I get fired. I lose company money, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
You're losing our
Because
country
you're not,
money. You
you're
should
not
be fired.
essential worker.
Yes, exactly. And you know, we have laws in place that are supposed to make business in America keep business in America. If you could purchase, and I remember hearing about this law, and I don't remember the law name or anything, but it was back in the 80s. It was put into place that if you could buy product from America, you buy from America first. If you cannot find that product or there is a lack of supply of that product, then you can go outside the country to get it. But that doesn't happen now because people are outsourcing all their jobs to all these other countries to make more money, to buy. It makes things cheaper and quicker and easier for the masses. Well, the masses don't need
that
it.
way they can pay less taxes.
What fucking 15-year-old, what 10-year-old to 16-year-old, I mean, fuck it, what 10-year-old to 18-year-old needs a fucking cell phone? I'm sorry, you don't need it.
You mean a 13-year-old, 12-year-old?
Anyone. You don't need it. I
I've
don't
even
give a
heard
shit.
kids
I don't
as like young as 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't. Well, I have a friend of mine. They have a 7 or 8-year-old, and they got him a cell phone.
Never would. Never happened
I
to me.
told my son, I told him he's not going to get one until he can pay
Yeah.
for it himself.
The reason that was put into place was because of something different, but they still they have it. They don't need it. There's no reason to have a cell phone. That's excess. There's no reason a 12-year-old needs a laptop. Unless it's for school purposes.
Right.
If that's the case, then maybe we should put the budget into the school systems that
because
every student gets one when they
almost
get enrolled.
every school has a computer lab. They have access to a computer.
I could bring a few teachers that I know in
But
here
you know
that
what
would
I'm saying?
talk about that. and
Well, but I'm
that's,
saying mostly
you know.
all schools have computers in them nowadays.
But what
not
I'm saying is,
I'm not saying
if
that
it's a
they're-
requirement to have a laptop at that age, then the school should be
Then they
provided in
should-
the school, and
well,
our
then-
government should
then
budget that into the
then
budget.
then the school should work it out with Gateway or IBM or
Yes,
whoever
it should be put
produces
into the
it.
budget.
And no, the school system or the city of the school system makes out a deal with Dell or IBM or Apple or whatever else and say, okay, we require these kids to have laptops. Give us a good rate to sell it to them so they can have them. So it's a
Fuck
barter
a good rate.
kinda-
As much money as fucking Microsoft and Apple makes, they could give computers away
I
for free and
understand.
donate them.
But I understand, because look at some
Bill
of the people
Gates
that
doesn't have
go.
to worry about
Did
money.
you see the article about Apple though? Now their computers or their phones are going to be made in America.
Good.
So they're going to start bringing shit back and,
That's
and
good.
do it
That'd
here,
be nice.
which is good.
So
And
that's
I
Japan,
applaud
people
that
like
if they do it.
Maybe
if they do it.
fucking just finally woke up.
But
Or
you
if
know,
they lie like Walmart and say your clothes are made in America, but it's actually out of Bangladesh.
you know, I mean, kind of staying in the same subject though. There, I saw, I think it was Thursday, that there was this 18-year-old kid for the last 2 years. You know how people have these.
He was
ugly
18 for 2 years?
No, he's 18 now. But
Okay,
for the
okay.
last 2 years, he was doing this certain thing.
Don't get mad. I'm just joking.
Well,
Jesus.
but you do that. I mean, and I just can't. You throw me off.
It's just the way you said it. That's all.
Yes.
But
Okay.
you know how everybody has these bad, ugly Christmas sweaters.
Yeah.
With a big
Well, whatever.
reindeer on
Yeah.
it.
We should do that
Sorry.
this year.
Now
Everyone
listen.
wears an ugly sweater
Now
to the
listen.
Christmas party.
This kid, I mean, he's 18 years old now. He was 16 years old when he thought of this. He thought of, everybody hates these ugly Christmas sweaters,
Mhm.
Everybody made a big deal. So for 2 years prior to this year, he just opened up his business this year.
Mhm.
And for 2 years, he went out and he went to every flea markets, every garage sales, picking up ugly Christmas sweaters. He graduated from high school. He was going to college. Then he started this entrepreneur business of selling ugly sweaters online. I can't remember what it's called. And
He's making lots of money.
and he will turn around and take a sweater, one of the ugly sweaters that he maybe bought $2 for at a garage sale.
Mm.
He turns around and sells them on an average of $20 to $30 a piece.
Yeah.
Somebody really
Because
wants
there's
ugly,
people.
huh?
Well, no, because what people do is they have those themes where you have a birthday party. Like a few of my friends do that too. They'll have a birthday party and it's wear this type.
Oh,
of
it's
shirt.
called Bad Christmas, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Badchristmas.com or something like this.
Yeah.
It's, something like this. I can't
Somebody
remember
wants to
right.
go there and they buy a gag gift for somebody for
it was
Christmas
really
to piss
cool.
them off.
And it's like how can and that's so fucking simple.
Yeah, my wife does it all the time. She'll go out to rummage sales, she'll buy stuff, and then she resells it on that Facebook thing, and she doubles her price. I mean,
it's
you
amazing.
can do it all
it's
the time.
amazing. It's
I mean,
amazing.
there's nothing wrong with it. That's how eBay started. I mean, people
Mhm.
wanted to take something and sell it for more and make money.
But I just
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
I
cool.
mean, it's not like this kid came up with something completely unique. He just found something to sell at a market. He found a market for what he
Well,
wanted
he
to do.
found people to buy it.
So, yeah, I mean, I really wish American business would grow a little better, and I think the excess in this country sucks, But if it wasn't for excess, we wouldn't have people listening to our show. So, all the iPods and everything we do. So,
Listen in excess.
not in excess.
No,
not all of
listen
us
to
like to
excess.
masturbate and choke ourselves.
Some
at
of
the
our
same time.
shows go very, very excessively
Yeah.
long.
Last show, 3 hours.
It's hard to believe that. Didn't seem like it.
I was talking to Mr. Mick last night, Mr. Mick Fingers, and he was like, normally I take like a half-hour ride to work, so I'll listen to like he said, like on Monday I started GarageCast, and he goes, it took me 2 days to listen to it. He goes, I don't know how long it's going to take to listen to your show. He goes, I got to listen to it on the way to work and on the way home, so I get about an hour each day. So it's going to take me like 3 days, maybe more.
Well, I started listening to our last podcast while we're putting up the tree that day. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I listen to it at work. Yeah.
but
I got 8 hours.
Yeah,
can
but
actually
we
get
really
away
never,
with that.
but we really never buckled down on what we were going to do with Jake and Brian with the
Uh,
Packer Bear game.
Like
though.
a bet.
Yeah.
I came up with it last night. I did a Google Hangout with Mick Fingers from BUI. I'm gonna keep calling him Mick Fingers.
It sounds like he's part of McDonald's.
Yeah, and then Corey Epps from Evil Teddy Bear podcast, both from the Podgods Network, podgodsnetwork.com. Go check them all out. Anyway, we were talking about that last night, and I says I got an idea. I says if the Bears lose, Jake and Brian got to blow each other. And if the Packers lose, the three of us got to Dutch rudder each other in a circle jerk.
No.
Why do you always got to go with fucking touching the dick?
But you know what I was thinking?
You touch your own dick, we Dutch rudder circle jerk.
No, I'm not doing that.
You know what
shit.
I thought to do? Doesn't matter to me.
What's that?
I figured if the bet should be even, either both ways.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking that if the Bears lose, both Jake and Brian has to everything from the shoulder up has to be completely bald. I mean, eyebrows. If they got
Shave
beards,
everything?
Shave everything
Ugh.
clean. Okay, and we would have to do the same thing.
Really?
Jake, Brian,
Did you shave your eyebrows?
I'm not part of this.
Yep.
I'm not going to be part of
Oh,
this.
eyebrows grow back. Eyebrows grow back.
Can we
like
just fucking?
this.
Can't
You
we
wouldn't
just enjoy the game?
You wouldn't shave your head?
I'm not shaving nothing.
No?
You
You
guys
can wear
wanna
a fucking
shave?
hat.
You guys want to shave your
To
fucking?
me, I could care less if I went bald.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
do whatever
That's
the fuck
why
you want, but I'm
it
not
doesn't bother
part of
me
that.
either way. I'll do whatever.
I'm not going to put no fucking
Can
high
you see a
stakes
truck driver
on
though
it.
being bald from the shoulders up though? She wouldn't look too good down the road.
You ball driving down the road.
I'm not doing no fucking bets. You guys do all the betting you want.
That's funny.
Well, actually, maybe what we should do is bring some Everclear or something, like some good stuff to bring up to drink. So if they lose, they have to drink the real
Like
nasty
eat something
shit.
or
Well, if you're
hot-
going to be drinking Everclear, you're not fucking driving home.
No.
Oh no, that's the next day. Saturday's the day we're all gonna drink. Don't worry, brother. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna power hour it up.
Isn't that right?
Ali
Ice.
Spagnola's power hour.
Hey, I was
album.
fine until we got past the tracks.
Yeah, if you're looking for something good for Christmas to get, go get her USB shot glass power hour album on the USB drive. It's
And I don't know if I
fucking
cracked
awesome.
a clavicle or what either.
What?
It's been sore.
You
It's been
fucking
sore all
you
week.
nailed that when we left after the last podcast last week.
What did I do?
You said when you stood up and you kind of teetered back and forth, and he
Yeah.
says, "I should drive."
Yeah,
I should have fucking drove
Yeah.
yeah.
because
What'd you hit?
we didn't hit
Nothing.
nothing.
No.
Nothing.
We stopped over at McDonald's because I was hungry. Because
I was fine.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
fine
You
once
was
we
fine.
got there.
That was late night.
Then we got on 54 across the tracks.
Got
All of a
right-
sudden,
right
the fucking
tracks.
switch said,
No.
"You're gonna feel like shit," and start swerving everywhere.
Well, no, I started getting really hot.
hit the zip
I almost
strips?
thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah,
So after the tracks, I pulled over. I told him I had to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
Well, I got out behind the car.
I'm
and
eating my quarter
and,
pounder, and I didn't realize he fucking fell
I-
down the
I
ditch.
fell down the ditch. And I don't know if I jabbed something in my shoulder. I don't remember exactly how I fell. All I know is I was laying on my back when I tried to get up. And the first thing I kept thinking was like, I hope nobody stops and sees me laying here, because I would have got nailed big time.
I had,
No,
I was,
you wouldn't have, because you're not in the vehicle. All you had to do
Car was running, nobody in the driver's seat. Yes.
No, as long as you didn't get back in it, you would have been fine.
But
But they would have also
he
given him a
is
breathalyzer.
very stubborn. He would not let me drive.
it's just I was, a couple of times I ended up being
You did-
fine, and then all of a sudden I'd kind of black out
I can
again.
count on
And I don't know what it was. I mean,
both
because I didn't
hands
have
how
that
many
much to
times you
drink.
hit
I really
that
didn't have
fucking
that much to
zip
drink.
strip.
Yeah, but you said you were at the bar before you showed up.
I had 3 Captains and Diet Coke at the bar.
What do you mean you didn't have much to drink? You had
I had 3 bottles of beer plus the one Captain Blackened had here. That's
okay,
it.
so
That's a lot.
That's 6 mixed drinks and 3 beers in your
No,
system.
I had 3 mixed and the one here.
Yeah, that's 4 mixed drinks and 3 beers.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
Oh, for a Wisconsin person, no.
No, like
Anybody
I said,
else in
like
any
I
other
said,
state,
when I
they'd be
left, I
passed
was
out by
fine.
now.
But no, I should have. I mean, I really should have told him when I fell and I
I'm
got
sitting there.
back
I'm
up.
going, "You want me to
Yeah.
drive?"
But because my
Pull over, I can
windows
do
are
it.
so my windows are so dark, he never even saw me fall over.
I heard something bump on the back, but I thought maybe he just brushed the back of his.
I did.
car.
I brushed coming back up. I was actually using
But-
my hood, my trunk to
Stand
get myself up.
He's sitting in the driver's seat, huffing and puffing like Warren. He's
Well,
going,
I was having cramps and stuff.
I said, "Are you gonna be all right?"
My
Yeah,
arthritis was,
I'm fine.
and
and he's
I
driving.
wasn't
It's like
really-
the car's going fucking towards the ditch. I'm going,
He
"Al,
grabbed- he
I'm
grabbed
grabbing
it
the
about
wheel.
eight
Oh,
times
you
or so.
dumbass.
I'm going, pull over. I'll drive."
And we don't promote drinking and driving, by the way.
I even told him when we get to the
No,
house,
and
it
you know
says,
what? I
"I'll walk
should've-
home."
I should have.
Yeah, you
By
should.
the time I got him home, I was pretty okay. I mean, I didn't have no
Oh,
problem
I was
driving.
fucking wide awake.
I would have bet too. At least you didn't fall asleep and him swerve, fly off the road, and almost
But I
hit a
should've.
bush.
I was
I
very
should've.
concerned. I
I
didn't
should
want
have.
him
Though. I
having
mean,
an
when
accident.
I should have
Yeah.
when I fell, and
I was
should've-
more
I
concerned
should've
about him
had
getting a DUI. I didn't want him to have
Yeah,
that.
yeah, fuck
But-
yeah. Nobody wants that. You were going to do something now?
No, I was
Oh.
thinking about throwing something out there, but
Oh.
we're just
But,
talking.
Yeah, I should have, but I didn't. But I'm a stubborn Andreasen. Just
That's
like
the best part
everybody
about
else.
doing it here. I can
But
get
how many
drunk and I
times do
don't
we
go
go out
anywhere.
drinking and we tell you, you can say at our
Yeah,
house, no
you.
big, and you drive all the way from Rapids all the way back here.
Because
No,
I feel-
you fucker.
No,
you just
you
take
do a
off
lot.
and don't tell
Or,
anybody
yeah,
where
or
you're
you just
going.
take
Hold
off
on,
and don't
hold
say a
on.
fucking
I gotta
word.
pee, he
Hold on,
says, and then he
hold on.
never comes back.
Hold on,
So
hold
that's a
on.
long.
Oh, come on. No, come on. Nothing. It's
Just
exactly
because I
what
say
you
I
do.
want to pee and then I leave, that's my opportunity to leave. Is because I don't want to sit there and listen to your bullshit. If I
Oh,
can't
come
drive,
on.
I
Oh,
won't
yeah,
drive.
right.
If I
Oh,
can't
come
drive, I
on.
won't
Yeah,
drive.
right.
If I can't
I
drive,
say
I
the
won't
same
drive.
thing.
If
We
I
just-
can't
But how
drive,
many
I won't
times
drive.
have you hit the rumble strips on the way home?
The only time I've ever went off the fucking
Yeah.
road, listen here.
Yeah.
The only time I went off the road was the day before Kurt and Trish's wedding. That was the first time I've ever drove drunk and the last time I'll ever drive that drunk. Ever. Now, I'll drive after I've been drinking, but I don't drink and drive when I'm fucking wasted off my ass. There's dates where I get home and I go, maybe I shouldn't have drove. But it's not to the point where I'm flying off the road and hitting shit. I've only done that once.
I've never flied off the road.
and it wasn't even my
He
car.
was dead sober and he flew off the road and hit the bush.
Well, that's because of the fucking weather.
You can't count. That doesn't count.
Well, I mean, I've never.
That was
I've
the
never hit
best
anything when I was
backwards
drunk.
driving, doing 60 miles an hour.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, we're not advocates of drinking and driving. Everybody makes bad decisions. But yes, I do like to leave unannounced and just say I'm going somewhere and I walk out there because I don't want to hear people's shit. I just
Yeah,
don't
we
wanna do it.
just
Yeah, but there's times we'd like to say, "Hey, see you later."
Yeah, I do. I say that. So when I say I'm
Safe
taking a
drive
piss,
home.
take it as I'm
You
saying
know?
goodbye.
Yeah.
Especially late at night.
you're just a lying fucker. That's what you are.
I'm not the only one that does that. I've got a friend of mine that used to do that too. Well, did that or does, I don't know anymore. We were a little hang out, but it's the same thing. You know, we'd be like,
Well,
where
there's
the hell
times
did he
you're
go?
sitting there fucking
Here's a
talking.
question.
It's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about something. It's like, well, where the fuck is he?
Yeah, like
Was he
Halloween. I did
jerking
that
off?
on Halloween, but the reason I did that is because my wife wanted me home, and she kept bugging me. And I just got pissed. I was like, fuck it, I'm going home.
We're just concerned. We don't want you fucking being in the
Dead.
ditch somewhere, and not know where the fuck you are.
I know.
If an asteroid is on a collision course to Earth,
Yes.
is it feasible?
Now, this is coming up on the 22nd of
It is
this month.
Is it feasible that the planet could be saved by firing paintballs at it?
The whole
Is this
planet?
a question, or is there an actual answer to this? Is there an answer to this?
This is an actual, it's an actual story called "Paint It Gone."
You're
But I'm just
talking about the
asking you.
entire population of the
I'm
planet
just asking
Earth
you. I don't.
shooting
I-
paintballs
all
off?
I'm saying, if an asteroid is ever on a collision course with Earth, is it feasible?
You said that already. Can I ask you a question?
You have to be on the
In
ground
that
or
in
the
that in
air.
that question, is there an actual answer,
Yes.
a mathematical equation, or an answer
I
that
don't know if
gives
it's
you the answer?
mathematically
Okay.
but there is
Well,
an
I asked
answer
the question
to the question.
too.
All right.
Does it mean the whole population of planet Earth?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, not one paintball is going to do shit.
Well, I mean,
Well,
and
I'm
that's-
saying, is it
possible? Well,
by
if something-
firing paintballs at it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's the whole population doing
Well-
it, I don't know.
No, because as soon as it enters, as soon as it leaves the Earth's atmosphere, there's no control over that. You'd have to shoot those
They'd burn
paintballs as fast, if not faster, as that
Out in
asteroid
space.
moving.
You'd have to
Yes.
do it out in space.
Yes.
Not
You got
not
to remember,
being planted with gravity.
the momentum of what that asteroid is doing has anything to do with our gravity or the gravity of any other planet. It's the momentum of that thing moving through space. So,
It'll go forever.
yeah, if something wasn't in its way, it would keep going and going and going, which hopefully...
I mean,
Earth
it's
is
almost the
never in
same
way of
thing as if
something
you
like
went on like the Empire State Building and dropped a fucking penny. It would kill somebody.
that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the momentum of it
Yeah.
as it gets going faster and faster, think of that. I
It'll
mean,
pick up speed.
Earth right now is the sidewalk to that asteroid. Somebody
Even
just
my
dropped
scrawny
it.
ass, if I fucking had enough speed built up and I tackled you, I might
Yeah.
knock you down a little
No,
bit.
if we all sat in, if we
Now,
all
this was-
gathered,
but
if we all gathered in Australia, or let's say Africa, and we all got paintballs, every goddamn 8 billion people or trillion people there are in this world, and we all shot paint guns in the air, no, it wouldn't stop it, because by the time it hit the outside atmosphere, the fucking thing would stop moving.
The
would
key of
just
this,
float away.
but the key of this is 5 tons.
5 tons. So you have to have 5 tons of paintball fly through the air.
I think
Well,
You
here's-
need a 5-ton paintball.
I think
This-
Robert shot that many
theory-
in one game.
The theory of this happened. The theory of it happened this October.
Let me guess.
According
some,
to-
fucking
according-
university.
According to MIT graduate student, whose detailed plan won't win him a prize. I'm assuming any.
Pulitzer. No, not Pulitzer.
A United Nations Space Council competition announced in October white paint powder landing strategically on an asteroid would intentionally bump it a bit, but additionally would facilitate the sun's protons bouncing off the solid white surface. Over a period of years, the bounce energy would divert the body even farther off course. So yes, it would, but the already identified asteroid, which measures, and they're talking about the asteroid Apophis, which measures 1,500 feet in diameter and is projected to approach Earth in 2029, would require 5 tons of paintball ammo to divert it from the Earth.
I don't give a shit about the answer anymore.
Well, but I'm just telling you.
There's an asteroid that's projected to hit the Earth in 2029.
2029.
Why
It's
the
called
fuck haven't we
Apophis.
heard about this, and why
You
isn't
know
this
what?
on the news?
People don't realize that there's
my
space rock hitting
Oh,
Earth
we
every
heard-
fucking day.
Well,
But
what are
I'm
those-
talking, is this one big enough, like fucking our moon?
15,000. It's 1,500 feet in diameter.
Well, we better call fucking Bruce Willis and the team Minus Michael Clark Duncan because he's gone.
gone now.
Steve Buscemi is the only one that was worthwhile. I love that.
I
I want the front seat at the end of the world.
I just thought it was kind of cool, though. You know, I mean, if you had enough paintballs, I mean, the tonnage of paintballs, you could fire them.
Well, you'd have to have a 5-ton paintball, not 5 tons of paintballs, right?
It's at 5 tons of paintballs.
Oh, well.
Why don't we just shoot
They're
a fucking
talking little
elephant out in
paintballs.
space?
5 tons of them, yes, and you could divert it.
So now I want these guys at MIT to
But
think,
they have to
how many
be-
testicles would it take?
But it only.
To please a gay man?
But like it says, it can't be just any paintball either. It has to be white paintballs, no other color.
Why is it white?
Because of the sun.
Because of the white paint powder. It has to do something with the white
Well,
paint powder.
isn't
remember?
basically all the paintballs made of the same thing? It just has different coloring in it?
The thing that concerns me is that people are paying thousands and thousands of dollars of an education to sit down and think of that.
it's because of the.
I mean,
it's
we could
because of the
sit here and
white
think of this
paint,
for free and possibly come up
Yeah.
with the answer.
but it's the white paint on the
Take a while,
surface of
but-
the asteroid. Because of the sun's protons, it helps at the quantum.
White stuff usually diverts anybody from going anywhere.
See, how many testicles?
Because the sun's protons will be bouncing off
they,
the
they
white
produce semen.
solid
It's
surface.
white. Yeah, see, testicles produce white
Well,
semen.
I think I even read this too, that the university was doing a study about a zombie apocalypse and how to survive it. They actually are making people take a course. I can't remember where I read that, but they actually have a course where
They're doing that in college.
Preppers. They're called preppers.
And they should have a gun safety classes in fucking high school. I'm sorry.
Actually,
grade
you know
school.
that
8 or not 8. Yeah, 8 or 9 years old.
Didn't they say, was it 12 years old?
Well,
Youngest,
right
or
now
13,
for
12 or
the
13,
gun
something like
hunter
that. You have to
safety,
be.
but you have to be that old to hunt. 13 years
Yeah.
to hunt. But you can still
Universities
understand the
and shit.
properties of how to have gun safety. It should be
I
a
would-
class in schools.
Really, at
teach
8 years
kids-
old?
Yeah,
Do you think
8
they
or
would
9
have-
years old.
Do you
yeah.
think they would have the enough to sit there and understand?
They
and
do
be
it in Boy
educated?
Scouts? They teach kids how to
No.
shoot BB guns, and they teach them the safety in Boy Scouts at a younger age. Why the hell wouldn't, or Cub Scouts?
I
Why
mean, I
wouldn't
don't
you?
know. I imagine they probably would.
Start
Not
as early.
all.
Yeah,
No, I
there'd
wouldn't say
probably
not
be-
all of them.
there'd probably be some fucking parents bitching about
Yeah.
that, like
Oh yeah,
they
'cause-
usually do.
yeah, well, true, but I think it should be a class. If there's if there's a
You should be
reason-
able to sign up for it if you want. If the parents and the kid is
No, I think
interested
it should
in
be a permanent class.
But
Just like driver safety is a class in
No,
they
high
it's
got
school.
not.
sex
No, it's not
education
anymore.
too.
Driver safety is not a class in high school.
Not in most. Now, if you want to have driver's education,
It is here in
you have
Rapids
to
and
spend. You have to spend $300-$400 to have a private
Good.
teach you.
Good. I always thought that was fucking bullshit.
And I think when you hit a certain age, you should have to fucking
Not
take
necessarily.
over
What is
some type
what
of
is
course
school?
again.
What is?
And
what
now that
is-
you're hitting 50, you should
but-
take your driver's test over.
Fuck you.
Yeah, since last Saturday.
After last Saturday.
But what do you think schools are there for?
To educate. Yeah, so gun safety. Educate people.
Prepare them for real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't need a
Driving-
car.
No, but I'm not saying driving is part of that real life. You have without a car, you can't get a job.
Bullshit.
Sometimes. No,
Bullshit.
I said most times, not
You
all.
want to be self-reliable.
If you want to be self-sufficient, drive a car. That's especially depending on where you live. If you live in New York or L.A., yeah, you can get a cab. You don't need a fucking driver's license.
I
Or
lived here.
Subway.
I didn't have a substantial vehicle till I was over the age of 21. Okay, I rollerbladed, I biked, I walked. To
I
my
understand
job.
that, but
I
I'm
lived
just
in the
saying,
location of my position and my
most
work, so
people-
I could do that.
But most people.
That's the responsibilities
rather
that most people in this country fucking take for granted. You have a car. Oh, I could drive fucking
It's a
80 miles
privilege.
to get to work.
Driving's a privilege. It's
Yeah,
not a right.
There's no responsibility
No, but
in
it
anyone's
still
life to do anything
prepares
like
you.
that.
But driver's education still prepares you for real life situations or real life.
Yeah, I still think
Okay.
it shouldn't be part of high
Hunter
school.
safety cool. Then why would hunter safety course
Because-
be? Why that should be part of school?
Because
then they're going to teach you how to hunt and teach you this stuff.
Weapon safety
Well,
is something
but not
everybody
everybody-
should know.
If driving ain't
Everybody
part of
should
it, then
know.
why should that be?
But not everybody.
But
So-
not everybody wants to have a
wants
So
fucking
now take
license
somebody
either.
who's mentally challenged. They should know how to fucking drive. Take somebody who's disabled to the point where they can't drive mentally and
But then
physically.
I say
They should know how to
everybody.
fucking
But then I
drive.
say everybody though.
But those people should still.
That should still be the right to everybody have the opportunity to learn how to drive a car, whether they want to drive it or not.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids want to wait till they're 20 years
My
old,
kids
21 years
my
old to
kids
drive.
aren't doing it until they're 18.
There's people here in UW at Stevens Point.
Yeah.
Will use public transportation to get
Why
back
not?
and forth to school.
Yeah.
Now listen,
Yeah.
they don't care getting a driver's license. They figure they're not ready to have that responsibility.
Yeah.
I applaud them.
Yeah.
But they have the opportunity to get it or not.
Some people are smart.
They're not. They don't think
Some
they're
people
ready.
are smart like grandma.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Look at your mother. She doesn't like to drive because she thinks everything's going to hit her, and she gets scared when she drives.
Just
I know, I understand,
fear.
but it's a privilege.
she's smart.
I understand
She's
it's a privilege,
Yeah.
but it still should be their responsibility whether they want to or not, and it should still be an opportunity in school for them to teach the basics to get them prepared. Whether they're ready to get their license or not, that's entirely up to the individual. That's the same the hunter safety course. Yeah, that should be in school too, to learn how whether or not that child wants to take it or not.
So if you're saying, okay,
it should be an option.
I'll play the devil's advocate here. You're saying that every student, or not every child in a school, let's say high school because that's more of an appropriate age, should have the opportunity to learn the rules and the safeties of driving.
Yeah. I'm not saying everybody
then
should have the opportunity, whether they decide to do or not.
Now what they need to do is make a class about cell phone use with cars and driving. And cell phone use in general.
Any child under
now
the
there should be one on that.
To me,
there's safety aspects
but to me,
that.
any child that's added in now.
But to me,
I don't know.
To me, any child under the age of 16 years old should not have a fucking cell phone because they will abuse it all the time.
True, very true.
You know, really, if they really want to be technical about it, then they shouldn't have it until they're 21. Until you're legal age to drink, you shouldn't have a fucking cell phone. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what I mean?
With that one.
But you know what I'm saying? They took that rights away from us by changing the law from 18 to 21. Mm-hmm. Well, I was under that law, which
drinking,
I still, well, I was able to drink at the age of 18 years old.
Kurt's the only one. He's the last generation.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I mean, it's going to be a time where, you know, they're going to have to put that rule out there.
They're never going to regulate that kind of stuff.
For cell phone bullshit, right now you can. Any kid under the age of 18 years old are caught with a cell phone in their hand driving a car will be fined or have their license taken away.
That's good. That's good.
Right now in the state of Wisconsin.
Because it's a safety concern.
Right. And like I said, you said they can't do that. Yes, they can. They can put that law out.
So put a gun in their hands without them teaching the safety of that gun as well. What are you going to do? You're going to do the same fucking thing.
I understand.
You're going to pull the trigger and you're going to accidentally hurt somebody.
But again,
that's
there's
why
also
the education and training of that individual should be done at an early age.
Also, that's why there's a law stating that you cannot buy a firearm or go hunting unless you have hunter safety course, because that is
which you have to do individually and separately.
But in school, at a certain age, they should have the right whether they want to take it or not. That don't mean they have to. It's available. It should be available, but but without hunter safety course, they can't own a weapon.
You telling me all these gangbangers took a hunter safety course? Well, I'm just saying, you know, you can't.
No, I'm talking to normal civilized assholes, not these people that break the fucking laws that should be all be put in a fucking hole and shot, drowned, or electrocuted.
At a younger age, if you're introduced to the safeties of something, you will carry that through your whole life.
I understand, but like I said,
it should be mandatory.
But why'd you bring up gang members? We're not even talking about them.
Because if you give the option for someone to go out and learn something, they're not going to do it. They think everyone in this world thinks they know what they can.
But I'm saying
they don't know everything. So when he says that you should have the option to go take a hunter safety course or take a driver course and to learn the safety of this thing, nobody's going to fucking do it. Nobody's going to do it.
Oh, bullshit.
I would have never taken it if I wouldn't have had to. I would have just went out and hunted
for driving
and learning hunting.
No, I'm talking about driving.
With the people that I learned.
I'm not talking about hunting. I'm talking about driving. That make that one.
You know how many times I drove before I got my license?
But who cares about hunting right now? I'm just going to say, just don't. That's not even part of it. Let's just talk about driving. If you had the option to take it or not,
I wouldn't have taken it.
Okay,
because I drove before I even took the classes.
But still, before you got your driver's license, you have to take a driver's education.
Get a license. Okay? You know how long I drove before
Whether you waited until you were 20 years old, until you were 50 years old, you still had to take a driver's education.
Do you know how long it was before I had my fucking license? I had my license revoked due to an underage drinking ticket at the age of 17 years old. Mm-hmm. I didn't get my license back till I was 21 years old because I didn't want to pay the fucking SR22 insurance on top of this and all this other bullshit. Mm-hmm. So I waited for it to get off my record. All right. So I drove from the age of 16 till I was 21 without a license. I only got pulled over once. and got nailed for driving without a license. And the only reason I got pulled over is because the van I was driving at the time had a loud muffler. It wasn't how I was driving. It was what I was driving.
Well, then I bet you got people that go out there and go hunting without fucking permits.
Yes.
You do.
But those are dumbasses.
But I'm just saying,
if you give the option, if you give the option to people to go out to learn those things, they're not going to do it because everybody thinks that they know how to do it. I'm prime example. I drove before I was 16. I drove till I was 21 before I had a legal license to drive.
I drove when I was 12.
Yeah, but you grew up on a farm driving tractors and other things.
Still drive,
But you learned.
but you drove.
You learned.
Okay.
And I'm sure
But I still had
your
to-
father, your
but when I was
grandfather,
in
and your
school-
uncles were telling you the safety of what to do.
But when I was in school, it was mandatory to take driver's education
Yeah,
for a
and
semester.
same here. Same here.
I had to sit behind a fucking box that looked like somewhat of a car,
It was a video game.
Yeah.
and with
I
a
did the same
monitor.
thing.
You know,
I probably sat in the same fucking seat you sat in.
I doubt it.
No, I fucking almost guarantee it. As
But-
old as those
but,
fucking things
you know,
Well, you know
But like I said, I've been driving. I drove since I was 12. I got my license at 16.
are.
I've been driving ever
everybody
since.
does. Yeah.
I've been driving ever since. The only violations I've ever had with driving is I probably had maybe 4 or 5 speeding tickets in my whole life.
Mhm.
That's it.
I have 1 speeding ticket and 1 driving without a license. That's it.
Yeah, but that one driving without a license makes up for my 4 or 5 speeding
No, it
tickets.
doesn't. No, it doesn't. Why would
Yeah.
it? Why would it?
I mean, really,
Really, why would it?
without a license, you shouldn't be behind the wheel.
Why? I know how to drive.
well, you're breaking
Never
the
got into
law.
an accident.
You're breaking the law.
But you're
basically.
breaking the law.
Doesn't fucking matter. When I was younger, I smoked dope. I broke a law. It doesn't make it any different.
But no, you're giving people the.
But then now,
Right
see,
to
now
do
you're
that?
not giving any
Basically
better
going back
examples
on whatever.
than what you were saying before. Yeah.
I said I'm a prime example. I at that young age, I thought I knew everything. I know better now, and my correction to my dumbass actions as a young person, I do believe gun safety should be in schools. Getting back to guns,
All
I
right.
do think that every child
Well, yeah,
at
it should
a
be.
certain age should be learning the safeties of a weapon because they're everywhere.
If they
If
want
you try
sign
to
up for
shelter
it, go
yourselves
ahead.
away from it, you're not going to get away from it.
I'm
You're going to
basically
see it in a
saying the
movie.
same thing, but
You're
I'm
going to see
giving
it in a
them an
video
option.
game. You're going to see it in a hunter. You're going to see it in a gangbanger.
Yeah,
and
but
you're going to
see-
see it in somebody who just enjoys shooting a
But
gun.
see, the thing of it is that with even like with hunting, is that not everybody out there. If you're going to make it mandatory that every child from whenever this was set up into a school that has to take hunter safety course,
Mhm.
every child shouldn't have to take it. Well, I mean, there's people out there that don't want to have nothing to do with
But
guns.
that
And listen to
goes-
me,
But that goes
they
against
don't
your
wanna-
driving thing. Not everybody wants to drive.
Exactly.
So
That's
why
I
do they
said-
have to get in the class?
That's why I said make it available for everybody.
Not mandatory.
It's not mandatory, but make it available for everybody. The same thing with
He's
hunter
talking
safety
about
course.
way before. It was
Make it-
mandatory.
make it available for
okay, so I'm
everybody, but
mixing
not-
up your words here. All right.
Well, but the thing of it is, you should know me long enough to understand. But I'm just saying, make it available for everybody. But it's up to that individual whether they want to do it or not, whether they feel comfortable doing it or not.
I know what you're
Because
saying.
some people
You
don't
gotta
want to.
sign up.
I don't
sheet
agree
if
when
you
it
wanna
comes to
do it.
guns. I don't.
Well, but I'm
I
saying,
think-
if you're going to own a gun, if you're going to have a
You
gun,
remember-
you're going to go hunting. Yes, you should have a hunter safety course, something to learn the basics
But
and
that's,
grow from there. I understand
That's
that.
coming from that comment's coming from an individual that grew up hunting and around guns and learned the safety.
We
of it.
all have.
Yes, we have.
Right.
But like I said, when you take somebody like a gangbanger, they just get a gun put in their hand and they're told, point and shoot. I want you to go over there and shoot this guy because he looked at me wrong or waved my sign
Oh,
wrong.
I understand.
Okay,
and
there's
that's
stupidity
just revenge
everywhere.
and stupidity.
There's
basically.
stupidity everywhere.
But I understand that.
Yes,
But you know
like
what-
my
but
mother
look-
says, not hunter safety, gun safety.
Why?
Because she's watching.
Oh, hi.
Like she's saying, and she's supporting me on this because we've had this conversation. I'm not saying hunter safety, going out and learning how to hunt.
Yeah, I'd
I'm
like to
saying
do it just
learning
for target
how
practice
to
myself.
handle
Handle
a weapon.
Right.
Just like Mr. Yuck when we were in school,
Yes.
teaching you the difference between a good chemical and a bad chemical. All right? Just like going out and learning when you're using a knife utensil in a cooking class, how not to cut yourself. There's safety things in
Sure,
life
sure,
that
I
everybody should be
understand.
taught. And I think gun safety is
Not
one of them.
everybody
You should
sh-
all
not
know
ev-
how
no.
a gun works, what you should and shouldn't do with it, and what the possibilities are of when it happens.
But I mean,
with it.
you know, but
It's not like I'm forcing you to put a gun in your hand and shoot it. I'm
No.
teaching you how not to point it at people, how to treat it like it's loaded, what the effects
but
are
it
if you
should
pull the trigger,
still-
and that's it. Just gun safety, basic gun safety.
Yeah, but if somebody don't want to have anything to do with guns, like I'm saying, there's some people out there that don't want to even look at a gun, touch a gun. They don't even want to have nothing.
And
Because
he's one of
they're
them.
afraid of
Okay.
it because they know
No.
the capabilities of it.
Well, they know the destruction happens when
Yes.
somebody
Or
puts it in
they
their hand,
had-
okay, and they
yes.
don't want to have to deal with it.
Or they had
Why
a bad
should-
experience with
Well,
the
why-
weapon.
And you
Well-
wouldn't have had a bad experience if you were taught gun
No,
safety.
I'm talking about when you have somebody pointing a gun at your fucking head. You don't like weapons,
Yeah,
but you know how my wife is about the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
wethink thing.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be able
But
to
again,
have a gun in the
I think it
house
just depends on the
unless I
individual.
want to be divorced next.
You know, I mean, like you were saying, we were all brought up in hunting. My dad hunt while
Yeah.
I was a kid all the way up. I mean,
I'm the only one that
I
snuck
went
under the
out,
radar on that
Yeah.
one.
I did all that.
But the reason you
But I do
educate
not-
children at a younger
I
age
do
is
not-
because they don't have that decision in their mind to make it up. Okay, the adult or the parent is the one going, I don't want my kid to do this. The kid doesn't give a shit. I mean, that's just like saying you don't want to teach kids about pedophilia. Remember those videos in class you used to watch? I watched them about good touching and bad touching, or somebody touching you wrong and who to talk to about it. Those are all safety measures that you take. And you teach a child at a young age at that age because they don't have the mental capability to make the decision of saying, I don't want to learn this. No, you teach them in class because at that moment
we had sex education.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and at that moment they have no choice because they're told this is what I need to learn and I'm going to learn.
Yeah, because it's a rash of all those teen pregnancies. Yeah. That's why they make you take it.
But the thing of it is, back then they didn't call it a penis and a vagina. They were called something your naughty places, and there was nothing naughty about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They were teaching us
the medical
not
terms.
The best way how to handle that either.
We just add slang to it
now because they learn.
Yeah, but now it's you call it what it is.
Yeah,
you know, it's a penis, it's a vagina.
That's right.
You know,
somebody touches
you in your private spots.
It's not a cock and a taco.
You know, I mean, without but I'm saying they touch you in your private spots without permission. You should talk to somebody, or you should tell somebody, mom, dad, or whatever. You know, back then it's like, you know. Somebody touches you in your naughty spot.
My kickstand.
You know.
Yeah, yes, but
you got to go to the teacher.
But all that does is
how is a child going to feel comfortable to go to a teacher?
But what you're saying is actually feeling what I'm talking about when it comes
to guns. I understand.
It's about your child's safety. Look at what happened with Robert.
But again, it should be.
You have a child that actually had something happen with gunpowder. Fucking around with something they shouldn't have fucked around with. Now, granted, he wasn't the one that initiated it, but something happened and it happened bad.
It was Walmart.
If you would have had a class at a certain age, 8 or 9 years old, and he would have learned about that, he would have never been in that situation.
Not necessarily. Because
unless he made a stupid decision.
No, because the parent that had the shit would have it in a locked fucking box like he should have had. It would have never happened again. Again,
and if that parent would have
how did they know that their kid was going to go downstairs and fucking light it on fire either?
You have 5 kids.
Well, you can't blame the parents.
Now you're talking about parent responsibility.
But still,
that's completely different. I'm talking about children learning
about
gun safety.
Are you going to now tell me you got 2 young kids?
No, I'm not going to have a gun laying around wide open, loaded,
I'm not saying a gun. I'm not saying a gun.
No.
All his guns were locked away.
Yeah.
But all the black powder and ammunition were hanging out in the basement on the counter where his reloader was.
That's
hanging there.
That's responsibility of the parent.
Okay.
I'm talking about educating children.
Sometimes,
there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
But I'm just saying, as a parent that deals with that, they should be educating their kids what to touch, what not to touch. But again, it goes back to the responsibility of the parent to make sure that their child don't get into that situation in beginning with.
I understand it. I'm talking about educating children about gun safety.
Yeah, but it should be. I think it still should be schools, but it still should be a parent's position though
to teach the child.
Sure.
I necessarily don't think that because you get
whether
things.
Whether the parent turns around and says this is how you do it, or takes them to the class and do it, there should be their responsibility, not the schools.
I think us as parents paying for our education system with our tax money, that is the decision we're making. We're making that decision because we're allowing a qualified individual to teach our children about the things that we may not know everything about. Okay, if I go out and teach my kids about hunter safety or gun safety for that matter, I may miss something because I don't do everything with every type of gun or every type of hunting situation. But somebody that's a professional that can do it, that can get paid by my money, is doing my decision, but they're doing it for me. There's nothing. Yeah, it happens, but that's personal stupidity and decision.
You know,
it happens.
Look at that guy.
But it happens. It would happen less if more people knew about it.
But look at the guy.
We'll have this conversation with Jake and Brian because I know Jake's a diehard when it comes to guns and ammunition.
But look at the guy from I don't remember where it was, like Texas or Tennessee or something like this. This black guy. Nothing against black guys.
This guy, just he was
a I think a SWAT member. He come into school. He was teaching them safety on a gun, not hunter safety, but gun safety. And he shot himself in the foot because he didn't realize it was unloaded.
And that's a good lesson to learn. I bet you every kid in that class learned something real quick.
But what's the first thing you should do when you bring a gun indoors like that?
Well, the first thing,
especially around children, make sure it's unloaded.
Yeah, make sure it's not loaded.
What did he didn't do? But he learned. I mean, he taught, but I bet you all those kids understood.
Yeah, I'm sure they learned real quick what happens when you shoot a gun and what happens when you don't check it.
Yeah.
We just have to get Lester with that SWAT team member. They could both show him the back.
I mean, I agree and disagree on many of the topics that you brought up when it comes to that driving safety. Excuse me, bullshit. But I am a firm believer that gun safety should be taught to every individual at a younger age. I think things would happen less. I think it would help and improve our society. That's all.
No emphasis on less, right?
But still.
What?
No emphasis on less.
No, not less.
But you can almost take that statistics. I mean, take that and kind of throw it out the door. About if it would, how many hunters shoot each other?
That's personal stupidity.
But still, they have to take hunter safety course to have a weapon to go hunting.
Yes.
They have that knowledge.
That's personal stupidity.
Okay, but still.
They see movement and they just jump.
but still.
Jump the gun.
No
pun intended.
Not everybody.
Teaching every
I'm
child.
not saying everybody should have a gun in their hand.
But I'm just saying, too, but every child may not, even knowing that they have that education.
I mean, there's a lot of dumb fucks
may not know how to use it the right way. Even
never graduated high school that have gone through hunter safety and passed
Well, you know me, I could give a shit about hunting or anything. But I enjoy shooting a weapon. I enjoyed doing those clay pigeon shootings that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have really any knowledge about weapon safety.
Yeah, you've never taken hunter safety, but we told you what you should and shouldn't do at that moment. You know not to point a gun at somebody. That's common sense.
I know that shit.
If you're going to point a gun at somebody, you're going to kill them.
Yeah,
you're going
to
to
be cognizant when you have a weapon in your hand. You got to think of every possible scenario.
I know every waking minute of that time that we were doing that, my wife was fucking shitting bricks.
Yeah.
But she's just very nervous about that stuff.
Well, because of bad experiences and
or
lack of knowledge.
Her ex-husband.
Well, we don't.
I'm just saying her ex-husband pulled a gun on her. That's why she doesn't like him. Not like I do that to her, but
that happens.
But that's the stupidity of the individual. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying everybody should put a gun in everyone's hand, but I do think everyone should learn gun safety. I think a lot less bad things would happen. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we need to control people.
But even with education, even with that type of education, not everybody's going to use it the right way if they do.
I'm going to be a dick now. That means that the 2.2 million miles you got under your ass don't mean shit because you could still fuck up and make a mistake.
Everybody makes mistakes. We're human.
See, but that's what you say. I don't have to take
that
it for granted.
experience is always going to be there no matter what happens. Even if I make a mistake
and the hunter safety or gun safety class that those kids take, that experience is going to be there forever.
I don't think he's disagreeing with you that they shouldn't take a class for it.
No, he is. He says it should be a personal class outside of school.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be go either way, but I'm just saying.
The same thing as DMV.
If it's available,
you can sign up for it.
All I'm saying, if it's available, let the parents or the child, if they want to have that education, let them have the decide. Don't make it a requirement through a school that everybody has to do it. That's just like driver's education. I mean, at one point, every kid that went to school had to take driver's education. It's not like that today. It's up to the individual whether they want to take that. But if you take driver's ed, you take it in school. If you don't want to take it in school, then you're going to pay the $300-400 and take a private class. Okay?
And that's the same thing. That's at a high school level.
And but no. I've got you see 15, 16-year-olds parents paying $300-400 and having them privately learning how to drive. To get their driver's license by the time they turn 16 years old.
I think there is a facility right now.
Classes in school start.
But
they don't start right at 16.
But like I'm saying, it's giving them the option whether they want to do it in school or not, or take it privately. And it should be it should be the same thing.
I don't.
There is a facility in
Rapids
that is a DMV course.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's in the old strip mall where
the
Rapids Mall was. Not Rapids Mall, but the Shopko Plaza Mall was.
Yeah. But that's not just. But I just say that's not just for 16-year-olds. That's for
everybody.
People new to the country.
For everybody.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
But like I'm saying, they either have to take it in school or they got to pay a private instructor to teach them.
Yeah. I think 9-year-olds should learn gun safety in grade school. That's just me.
Not every 9-year-old is mentally ready at that age to even do that.
I didn't say hold a gun. I said learn gun safety.
I'm going to say at 9 years old, even 8 years old, I don't think every 8 or 9-year-old is mentally capable to handle that type.
What is it now?
I didn't say handle the weapon.
I didn't say handle the weapon. I didn't say handle the weapon. To take that type of responsibility to learn what that do. You know how some kids are? They have a attention span of a fucking gnat.
Yeah, and
in and out one ear. Why waste my money putting that program in school that find out that after it's been in school for let's say 5 years, you find out that 15% haven't learned a fucking thing. Why waste my taxpayers' money to put that type in there? Like, again, it should be able.
Then why are you paying for English and social studies and math and all that other shit? You might as well bitch about that too, because a 9-year-old may not be capable to handle a 5 times 5 equation.
Well, that's why they have different levels and they have different areas for that, and they have different ways of teaching it.
That's a complete. I mean, well, this I'll bring. I've got teachers in my friend circles, and I'll bring them into this, and we'll have
You know
a
what I'm
conversation
saying?
about
But you know what I'm
education.
saying? But you
No,
know what
we'll
I'm
have a
saying?
conversation about education and funding
Everybody
for
has
education
a
and how it
certain
is. But
mental. Everybody has a
Yes,
certain
exactly.
mental level of
yes.
learning.
So if you're going to bitch because somebody's learning gun safety and they may not be able to handle it, and you don't want to pay
I'm not
for it,
bitching that they're
it's
learning
the same
it.
thing.
No, I'm not bitching if they learn it or not. I'm just saying at certain ages you can't make it mandatory for everybody at a certain fucking age to do something if they're not capable to handle it at that
and
point
you,
in time.
And you can't make
you
it
can't tell
mandatory
them
in a
that.
class to say that a child should be at a certain reading level or a math level at that grader level either. So you could bitch about the same principle.
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No.
You can't expect a child that can't read or has a hard time reading to be at the same level as another child in the same class.
But I already said that, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I said that even a 5-year-old don't have a capability to read a 5-year-old.
So why are you paying
Okay.
taxpayer money to have that done? That's what you said. Why would I pay taxpayer money to teach a child something that they may not be capable to learn?
That's completely different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same principle.
No, it's not the same principle.
Why do we teach these kids these things? To be better in society.
You have,
right?
but
to be a stable individual.
Would you rather learn how to eat? I mean, would you rather learn how to speak, spell, do arithmetic, and understand the basics of how all that works than worry about a fucking gun and how it works?
No, I think gun safety in society
so you'd rather
just
have
as
a dumb mute child know how to use a fucking gun than worry about how to walk, speak, eat, whatever else.
Put it this way.
But that's what you're telling me.
Most dumb individuals
Aren't
are the
you?
ones that are out there shooting.
But isn't that what you're telling me, though?
That's not what I'm saying. You're taking it to an
extreme. You're doing the same thing when I say about English or math or anything else of certain levels.
No.
Yes, we pay for those certain levels because we know that the
and it's
mental
ineffective.
capability.
And it's ineffective.
How do you know that?
Because every individual that goes out there and shoots somebody on purpose is a dumb individual. Because they didn't learn gun safety, and they probably know what 5 + 5 is.
How do you know that?
But they still can shoot somebody.
How do you know that? Every person out there that had a problem with guns did not have hunter safety.
Because in my opinion, if you go out and purposely shoot somebody, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but that person still
doesn't matter. You're an idiot. It doesn't matter how smart you are in school. You could have graduated from MIT and figured out that stupid asteroid problem. If you shoot someone, you're an idiot.
That's what I was talking about.
But you still paid for their education.
But you're still going to pay for them.
And they came out and they shot you in the fucking head.
But you're still going to
pay. Oh, it's okay. I'll pay for his smartness to come over and be an idiot.
Yeah, but you're still going to pay. But you're still going to have it paid mandatory for everybody to take that course in school. Safety course.
I think it would better society. I think it's better.
It's the same difference no matter what.
I think it's better for society, for individuals to understand what they can and cannot do with a weapon and the safety of that weapon. Just like I think it's beneficial.
Losing argument.
No, it's not.
Either way, it's a losing argument. No,
I think it's beneficial for any idiot out there to learn what 5 + 5 is.
It ain't any better.
I'm willing to pay for that price for somebody to learn what gun safety is.
Yeah, but if that person turns around after they got that education how to learn how to use a gun, they turn around and shoot your fucking brains out. Now he's an idiot, but yeah, you're going to pay for him to do what he just did, and you got killed out of it.
Yeah, and you just paid for somebody to go, what?
I'd rather have somebody that has a 5th grade mathematical education than some idiot out there that thinks he knows how to use a gun. Now he's shooting people and killing everybody.
Now you want everyone in society to be an idiot.
It's a losing argument. It ain't going to happen.
We should have a psychological evaluation before the fucking gun safety thing. So
I am sure there's statistics.
Oh, yeah.
I am sure.
Okay, I'll agree with your situation as long as everybody has a mental evaluation before they go into that. Whether they're capable of handling it.
Now you're just being a dick. Now you're just being a dick.
No, because if you don't want one of these completely stupid dumbasses out there shooting people because they took hunter safety course, but they didn't sink in, and now they're killing people. Well, maybe they weren't mentally able. But it goes back to what I just said too. Not everybody's mentally capable to handling that type of education.
What are you beating the table up for? It didn't do nothing. Not that I'm a man of statistics, but I'm sure there's statistics out there that show that a child at a certain age that learned gun safety compared to a child at that same age that didn't learn gun safety, and the results in society and who did what and who didn't. I am sure the statistics are going to show you that an individual that learned gun safety or individuals as a group, less probability of stupidity with a gun would happen.
Probably.
Okay.
I
so
agree.
when you sit here and say, oh, well, this guy goes out and he took the class and he's still stupid and he went out and shoot somebody, what's the improvement of it?
But
that's the stupidity of the parents, the education system, our society, our government, and the individual itself. You can't sit there and throw a stupidity wrench into a conversation like that.
No, I wasn't.
Right? It's beneficial. It helps. You cannot deny it.
But that's
you cannot deny it.
That's not
Just
what I
like
was
telling
saying,
your
though.
kid you got to look left,
What
right,
good?
left when you walk across the
You want me
street.
to do like what I tell my daughter? You want me to write it down in black
No.
and white so you can fucking understand it?
No.
You don't fucking
I heard
understand
you.
what I'm saying. No,
Yeah.
you did not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at that point in time, not everybody's mentally capable of handling at that point in time. Not saying that they can't do it.
Yep.
Okay? You don't even understand what the half of what I say. You know? And the same thing when it comes to math, speculation, English. You think that because they're in a different level, we shouldn't pay for that?
No, you said
They're
that.
still mentally.
I was using that as another example.
All I said was
I'm not
that
gonna argue with you
each
about
person, though, is.
I still think gun safety should be in classes. If it's not 9-year-old, then maybe 10-year-old. Okay, I'm sure there's something out there where someone would say this is
But
the
there's
best age to
sometimes-
learn. Okay,
not like.
all right, just like operating a vehicle or being old enough to drink. Somebody figured it out. Okay, not saying it's right, but somebody figured it out that 18 is a good age to be called an adult.
Yeah, you're right.
18 is to be.
Yep,
don't just
you're
agree
right.
with me to be a
Yep,
fucking dick.
You're right.
All right. Just because I said 9 doesn't mean that that's the right age. All I'm saying is that I do think that gun safety should be in school.
But I'll guarantee.
Just coming from a guy who grew up in Wisconsin, right? You, a hunter, somebody who shot guns, who shoots guns really well, good enough to shoot his brother between the eyes from the house to the barn, all right? This is coming from you that you don't think that gun safety should be in fucking schools and kids shouldn't learn about it. That surprises me. That really surprises me. Coming from you, somebody who grew up with guns and hunts, okay? It's statistically proven that anyone that learns gun safety,
said this before,
the probability goes down.
But I've said this before.
Don't sit there and tell me that it's not worth it.
And I'm going to say it again. Anybody that is going to go hunting that uses a gun, yes, they should have hunter safety course
for hunting. Yes,
and no
for hunting. Yes,
no, but still, you still learn the basics of how to handle that firearm.
Doesn't matter. Hunter safety is not going to teach you how to completely teach you how to gun safety. Okay, there's a big difference between gun safety and hunter safety because you're learning a multitude of other things when it comes to hunting, like crossing over fences and going up in a tree stand.
They have a little bit of everything. It's only the basics. It's not a full blown. Yeah, if you want to get everything, then pay for it and have it all done. But I'm saying this is only a basics. That hunter safety is only basics. And if you're talking about gun safety, that's probably going to only be the basics, just like everything else. I mean, come on, you can't get into the whole full-blown training and everything else, and
not for a child. No.
Okay, because they can't understand it, everything. Yeah. But if you teach them the basics, no big deal.
And what's the problem with it?
But like I said,
it should be
everybody should have hunter safety course on how to handle a firearm. And everything, or if they're going to
if you're going to hunt,
okay, it should be an optional course.
But it's still optional. I mean, if you're going to go hunting, you can take it, or you don't have.
That's hunting.
Okay.
Yes, that's hunting.
Why should it be mandatory?
Because I think it benefits society, just like a child learning how to read and do math and get educated in life. Okay, you used to have classes where they teach you how to write a fucking check because that was a big part of life. Okay, you're telling me that's not worth paying for? Teach somebody how to manage a book and take care of their money, which is a class that's gone away, which should still come back.
And that's why people go to college and go for management, bookkeeping, and everything else.
You're telling me you're going to have to wait till your college age to learn how to fucking balance a budget?
Nowadays,
maybe that's why our government sucks at balancing a budget.
Nowadays, yes.
Fucking A, man. You're just fighting the fucking point to fight the point.
No. I'm just saying, nowadays,
I find it hard to believe you want somebody at 18 years or older to learn how to balance a fucking budget.
I am saying, nowadays, probably yes. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm saying, nowadays, with credit cards and things like that, why would you need a fucking, I mean, I got a debit card. I don't need a fucking checkbook. I don't need to write checks. All I got to do is just swing this here and make sure I don't go over my balance.
Still fuck your credit.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know
what I'm
saying?
saying? It has nothing to do with gun safety in school and bettering society.
I never took a course that told me how in high school all the way until I graduated from 12th grade. I never had learn how to write a fucking check.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Maybe that was after your time. Maybe you're that old.
Come on.
Well, I mean,
everybody had a fucking checkbook at that time. If you didn't see your mom and dad write a fucking check, you'd be fucking stupid.
And if you didn't see somebody carrying a fucking gun and you didn't learn it while you were,
then you wouldn't know how to do it.
You wouldn't know how to do it, would you? Yeah. So wouldn't it be better to teach somebody at a younger age? At an age where it's appropriate to learn.
But again, it should be the parents' position and parents' job to teach them how to do it.
No, I think this horse has been turned to fucking Clue. Why don't we change subjects now?
It's typical for us. That's all right.
I think everybody got the point. How about some odd facts to lighten up the fucking mood?
I got an odd fact for you.
No more gun shit. Snails produce a colorless, sticky discharge
so do vaginas.
that forms a protective carpet under them as they travel along. The discharge is so effective that they can crawl along the edge of a razor without cutting themselves.
Yeah. Cricket, 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 cricket.
Oh no, you give me shit about fucking.
I just said
facts.
He doesn't know where to go because he's still steaming. He can't even organize his paper.
Just let it go. Let it
Put
go.
the paper down and
Just
leave
put
the
it
pen
down.
alone.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
I did let it go.
No, you
Fucking.
I'm making
horse-
fun of you now.
The horse is turned into Elmer's glue. Let's just fucking leave it go.
No, I'm just giving him shit because he can't. He's trying to organize his space because he
I am
doesn't
not
know what
organizing nothing. I just put it down there.
Here's another one. Snakes are immune to their own poison.
I knew that. I knew
I
that.
mean, why are they fucking? They're poisonous to you, but they don't die from their own shit.
So I wonder if
Because their body's the one that
I wonder if
makes
a
it.
rattlesnake's poison is poisonous to a cobra.
I don't know.
Hard to say.
I guess it would have to be for itself, huh?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I got one more.
All right. Lighten up the mood.
Snakes have 2 sex organs. Ooh, that's lucky.
Male and female. Of course.
In case one drops off in their fervent attempt to trick the females into mating.
Oh my god.
Now pops off.
So it's like a worm, huh?
No, I don't know. You cut up. Well, yeah, I guess it would be the same
I
thing.
mean, a worm has got both sex organs on both, on each
Yeah,
side.
they do.
So
They're what? Unisex. Isn't that unisex?
yeah, I don't know. Is that unisex?
I think that's what it would be.
Wouldn't be bisect.
No, and that's
Unisex.
Bisexual.
bisexual means you like it both ways.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That'd be a snake then, wouldn't it? Or would they be a
Bisexual
hermaphrodite?
If
Or
it's
they
a
would be a
human.
hermaphrodite.
If it's a
Bisexual
human, it's a
means-
hermaphrodite.
Bisexual means that you are one sex, but you like both male and
Bisexual?
female.
Oh, okay.
Unisex means you have the same.
It's almost like a.
You'd have both sex organs,
Okay.
which would be a hermaphrodite, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah. You got any fun facts for a top 10, Ice? How about we do a top 10 on gun safety?
Fuck you.
They've got to have them out there.
I always got to throw that in there. I have fun with those conversations. Just I'm not going to bring it up again, but I have fun with those conversations because it does bring up a lot of different multitude of points and different
Oh,
philosophies.
it brings
and
up
thought
fucking high
processes.
blood pressure.
Only for him. I wasn't yelling.
No, it's not a gender thing. Unisex.
No,
Unisex.
it's just the
is-
capability of.
No, it's
You can switch sex automatically
can
if there
be-
wasn't one
it's
other.
sharing by both sexes.
like a worm.
No, it's another term for gender blindness. The term was coined in the 1960s. It was used fairly informal.
You're gonna live.
Through the combine of una is the form of Latin of unus, meaning one. The term seems to have been influenced by the words such as united or universal, which is a una prefix takes a sense of sharing or shared. So in a sense, it can be seen as being shared by both sexes, like a toilet. Or this is a unisex chair. Both male and female can sit in it. Doesn't mean it has male and... Well, I imagine
It
it
means your
probably...
asshole is unisex. I mean, a male and a female can do
It's
it.
also typical of service that traditional separates the sexes, such as clothes shops. But it doesn't say anything about.
So
It
unisex-
doesn't say anything about a person or an animal with the male and female.
The reproductive organs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more.
There's another name
It's
for it.
more of
I
a
know there is.
substance that's being used by both sexes,
Substance abuse.
or a material thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. So then, what would that snake be?
Oh.
It would be hermaphrodite.
No.
It has both sex organs.
It's called unisexualism,
Unisexualism.
describing sexual reproduction species that has both organs. Or
Hermaphrodite.
in biology they call it grenorism.
Gynocorhism,
Or something like that.
not gynecology.
That's the same
Or
thing as like
gonorrhea.
hermaphroditism. Somebody has the two sexes. They're two.
Okay, so that snake is a hermaphrodite.
What would you like, the dick or the hole?
The vagina.
See, I knew there was another name. I knew it wasn't unisex though.
Well, it's practically unisex, right? There's something after it.
Unisexualism.
Unisexualism. Okay, but
Or-
uni means one, so how could that be a single sexual, right?
Well, it's one
Sexualism?
person, but the biology term is that gynocorism,
Gynocorhism.
something like that.
Gynocorism. Something like that.
Weird. I'm just glad I don't have both.
I wouldn't leave the house.
Yeah, I'd be doing porn like you wouldn't.
Would you leave me alone? I'm gonna fuck myself. Go. Yeah, we actually would go. Fuck
Could you
yourself,
imagine
wouldn't
a hermaphrodite 69? His dick would be in her vagina, and her dick would be in his vagina.
you? Deep thoughts from Earth. I thought that was only on Saturday Night Live. I thought you have Jack Handy fucking beat.
I'd be fucking surprised if I ever saw a comment like that on Saturday Night Live. Best thing about podcasts is we're not censored, and we can argue about stupid shit.
Really, we're not censored.
So, do we want to do some Near on Napalm, or are we done for the day? Been on it for hour 53.
Well, the plane's coming in. I guess we're doing it.
All right, finishing up.
The second time in a row now we finish up on Near on Napalm.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
God, I wonder if you got training to set those off.
Took Hunter safety.
I wonder if he was an idiot to do it.
Hunter safety
in my
with
opinion,
fucking napalm.
Anybody
jets?
dropping a bomb like that's an idiot. I can't believe he gets so fucking worked up about that.
It happens.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, you want fucking blood to fly on me. The fucking vein is gonna burst.
Well, like I said, it's really hard to believe that he doesn't want someone of appropriate age to learn gun safety. I just can't believe that he would say that.
Well, you know, I don't.
That's why I
don't think
it
it should be mandatory. I think you should have the option to take a class like that if you want to.
Yeah. Now these other
like the DMV. Like the DMV, you know, when go for driver's ed.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be mandatory, but if you want to drive, well, then you better sign up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to.
Yeah, and yeah,
a lot of these classes. I mean, a lot of these classes, if it's something
like
that are not offered, like a class that, it should be something you could sign up for.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, those types of classes too, to me, are more of a later high school, technical college or college type classes. You know, where you can elect what you want to learn a specific on. But I think things that are beneficial to society, making things society better, should be mandatory at a younger age. There's other things I could bring up. I'm not going to because it'll start another conversation. But to me, I think one of the most important one of those is gun safety. I think that would benefit society if younger individuals, like teaching a child how to cross the road, or what chemicals are good and what are bad, or what is an appropriate touch or what isn't. It's okay to teach those things, but it's not okay to teach gun safety. I think that's wrong, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. So for me, seeing those other things that are less important to society, not that they're not, I mean, there are, but the safety of an individual and the safety of others around that individual, to me, is more important than Mr. Yuck almost. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So, but it's just me. That's my opinion. I think a lot of problems would be solved if people were to learn. You know, there's parents out there that aren't going to teach their kids that stuff.
I think I'm gonna get some of those Mr. Yuck stickers and put like one of those little fucking
right above your asshole.
You know, yeah, put it right up over there, just like one of those tramp stamps.
Yeah.
No,
should get a tattoo. That should be a tattoo.
Mr. Yuck.
Yeah,
a long tongue going down my ass crack.
I got a Mr. Yuck tattoo, or tattoo, Mr. Yuck T-shirt. So maybe I'll do that for a tattoo.
You get your own tramp stamp with a fucking Mr. Yuck sticker.
Yeah.
You stole my ID.
You gave it to me. I know you're gonna get no ink.
I'm not giving you nothing.
Especially where my Mr. Yuck is. I don't want to start Near on Napalm without.
Oh no shit! Good timing there, Ice. Fuck.
You didn't have anything to do with him. That's why.
Start up the fucking. Well, he's part of that.
No, but I mean, like, it wasn't his idea. Like the whole business and working and all that bullshit that we talked about was all based all around him. So I don't give him shit just because he pissed me off, but I didn't yell.
Yeah, he gets pretty bent out of shape sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know, for some of our listeners, before Ice gets back here, I did a podcast last night with that Corey, Evil Teddy Bear. He did. We were talking about Kevin Smith basically, and it was a Google Hangout that we did with BUI, Mr. Mick, and Corey. So you guys can check that out on YouTube too, as well as podgodsnetwork.com. So, and I'm hoping I can get more pod punks out there. It's really hard to get my kids to both agree to do something at the same fucking time. So.
Well, if they don't, you want them both to come up with an agreeable subject to talk about?
Well, that was the idea, but I'm thinking about if
you should just do individual basis.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know, because I want to start paying for them to have permanent files up online. So right now I'm not paying for that. So
well, if you can't get them both to agree on something, it'd probably be a better idea to have.
Get a lot of good feedback from it, though. I mean, from people that I've talked to, verbally and online, they like the idea and the concept, and they actually enjoyed the shows because it's just completely different than what you hear out there. Now you see kids podcasts out there, but they're all structured by adults, doing
Well, yours
what they
is
want them to
kind
do.
of structured.
Well, but
right?
mine is letting them be what they want to be and say what they want to say. I'm not cutting anything out, and it's their mind. I'm not structuring them and saying you can't do this or you have to do this.
But you're kind of there as a guide. You're a guide.
Yeah, I'm a guidance. That's what parents are.
So it is kind of adult structured. You're not just letting them sit in the pod room all by themselves.
Oh, no.
Just making random noises in the microphone.
Well, they do that too every now and then.
So.
Did you drain the vein?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're ready to
Did you get your blood pressure down? Once your bladder emptied, your blood pressure came down?
I was sitting on a little pressure anyway. So.
Oh, I took a shit.
I already got rid of my fucking...
All right, you're on napalm.
My load. All right, first one on the list is architecture.
All right, buildings and structures.
All right. In which decade was the Empire State Building completed? We just fucking talked about the Empire State Building here.
Yeah, dropping a penny from it.
1920s, the 30s, or the 40s?
20.
I would say 1920s.
In the 20s.
20s?
Yeah.
It would be the 1930s.
Oh,
actually, 1931 to be exact.
Oh, so they finished it in 31, but it took them through the 20s to build it.
No, they actually...
They built it in a year?
I don't think it took a whole year. No, I would probably longer than that.
It took longer than that,
yeah. It says completed, yeah.
Oh, okay, so...
Did you know that back in, what was it, 1941, I think it was?
Hitler was in power?
Airplane hit.
Yeah.
Hit the...
I remember that conversation coming up when
was it before
happened.
or after King Kong was on top of it?
Well, has a plane ever hit a building like that? And I remember that was a charter plane.
They actually thought it was
wasn't
Japan. No, it was actually a B-2 bomber.
A B-2 bomber hit a building?
No, it hit the Empire State Building.
A B-2 bomber.
Mm-hmm. One of ours. Because that was that same time that Pearl Harbor got attacked, or in that same era, or that same time, and they thought that Japan was going to hit like Maine, New York. And it was early in the morning. I was watching this thing. It's called Mysteries at the Museum, and they had this engine part that they found. And here they found out, and they traced that was the only part of the plane that was left. Everything else was disintegrated. And because they thought it was a Japanese
building
plane.
Still stood.
Yeah, it hit like I don't know how many stories is the Empire State Building.
I have no idea. Empire it was, 90. No, it's more than that.
I thought they said something like it was the 60.
I know it takes 13 and a half minutes to get to the top.
It was big enough for King Kong to fucking die when he hit the ground.
But
that's a big fucking monkey.
It was an early morning. I can't remember the date it was. It was July 14th, 41. I think it was July 14th. So it was right after Pearl Harbor, and they saw this airplane coming in down through Manhattan, weaving back and forth in the big buildings. Next thing you know, it hit.
You sure it was a B-2 bomber?
New York does not have fucking any luck with planes and big buildings.
They got big buildings, all buildings, but I just can't imagine a B-2 bomber weaving through the streets of the buildings. But
it's got a big wingspan.
Yeah, that's a big fucking. I thought it was like a smaller charter plane, but I mean, shit, that makes the conspiracy theory on 9/11 really start questioning if a B-2 bomber can hit the World Trade Center. I'm not the World Trade Center, but the Empire State Building, and then two jets like that hit 9/11 or the World Trade Center. How the hell can the World Trade Center fall on those? And then
they made shit better back then.
Well, of course, that's honest. Yeah, that's true.
They're trying to find cheap ways to get around shit.
Yeah, steel and brass mixed together or something stupid like that.
All right, I'm going to go on while you're looking.
Yeah.
Next one is going to be design. What kind of boots inspired by those worn by astronauts came onto the market in 1971?
Moon boots. Thanks to John Lennon. Or not John Lennon, but John Elton.
Ice.
Moon boots?
Do you agree?
What's that?
What kind of boots came onto the market in 1970s due to the moon guys?
I would say moon boots.
They're inspired by astronauts. They kind of gave it to you. Yeah, moon boots, which I owned a pair of them fuckers.
Yeah, you did? That's what I told you. I had a pair. Yeah.
You were correct?
Right here.
You're going back?
Bring it up.
That was happened on the Empire. It was a B-52 bomber hit the Empire State Building, crashed.
B-52
B-52
Mitchell. Now click on B-52 Mitchell and let me see it. Up at the first line, all the way to the right. What's a B-52 Mitchell?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big fucking plane.
It's a medium-sized bomber.
That's a difference between a B-52 bomber and a B-52
Mitchell. This was it's called a medium-range bomber.
Yeah, but if you look at B-52 bomber, I mean, I'm thinking the biggest one, the real big one. The ones that were huge.
The one they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. That's the
Yeah.
B-52 bomb.
Well,
Yeah.
and I met
a
a guy who actually was one of the gun pilots in one of the gun
Oh,
turrets.
actually, it was
He used to work at
1945.
Warzone.
I'm sorry, I was off by 4 years.
He actually was a
1945.
art director for the National Geographic.
He was in the plane when they
Yeah.
dropped the bomb.
Yeah, Peppino Rizzuto. His brother
Yeah,
was.
but that was by mistake.
Was a baseball player.
Did you know
famous
that?
baseball
That was
player.
by mistake.
Yeah, of course it was
Because
by mistake.
he.
Rizzuto.
Yeah.
That's what they wrote in fucking Billy Madison.
Yeah.
You couldn't do the Z's in cursive, and they fucking
No,
squiggly like
you know
Yeah.
why? Because they were in the bomber that time,
Yeah.
and they hit air pocket, and he was down there. He accidentally hit the trigger and opened the bomb bay doors, and they went. It was actually all by
Oh.
mistake that it hit.
The plane
No, not
hit?
this.
Oh, I
No.
thought you were talking about the plane hitting that building. Of course, that's a fucking accident.
No, one
You're
of
talking
the-
about somebody dropped the bomb by accident?
One of over Arizona was one of the largest bombs that we had, nuclear bombs.
Whoops.
Oops.
They were flying over Arizona, coming into
Oh, I
California.
heard about that.
So
Yeah.
are you
they
going to
hit an
blame
air
the military
pocket?
or the dumbass that opened the fucking door?
It created a crater, but it created a crater. What was it, like 30 feet and 15 feet deep? And
Doesn't sound big.
it was in a small little town.
Well, it wasn't as big as the one we dropped in
No,
Hiroshima.
they were lucky. You know why? Because the bomb was not even armed. That was just a shell
Oh, the
casing that
impact?
made this impact of the bomb hitting it.
Yeah.
But what happens? They were flying over and they hit an air turbulence, and the guy went to help to support himself, and he accidentally hit the handle to open up the bomb bay doors and release it. Can you imagine if that fucker was armed? It would have blew
Could
out
you-
whole state of Arizona.
Could you imagine if that
and
kid at 9
everybody
years
else.
old learned gun safety before he hit the button? Or bomb safety? I
Don't
mean?
even go there.
I meant
Don't go there.
bomb safety.
Yeah,
Who do you like? Six says. Who do you blame? The military or the guy flying the fucking plane,
no operating the door.
operating the door? Yeah.
He shouldn't have been down there. In the
Pilot's
first
just
place.
flying. He's not operating the door.
Yeah. I remember seeing something on a documentary about that.
That was
It
under.
pretty-
That was. That was.
Now that
part
could
of
have changed the
museum
history of
that.
this whole world.
That was part of the mysteries of the museum because
Yeah.
part of the bomb casing, or the shell of the bomb itself, was in this museum, and they were talking about that.
Do you think that would have? You think they would have turned around and went back to fucking Hiroshima if they fucking forgot to arm it after they dropped the first one on them? Whoops! Forgot to arm it. Only made a 30-foot hole and fucking 15 feet deep. They'd be laughing at
It was
us.
a big freaking hole. 3 kids got hurt from the shrapnel, but they lived, and that was the only injuries there were. Like they think there was 3 kids right in that area where it hit.
Except for the one they couldn't find because he was standing underneath the
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Holding onto a horn toad.
Yeah.
Him and the horn toad became one with the dirt.
All we could find is this toe from the toad.
All right, next is science. What kind of matter is the main component in the Earth's atmosphere?
What kind of matter?
Yeah, what kind of matter is the main component of the Earth's atmosphere?
Oxygen?
What's this?
That's an element.
That's what I thought.
What's this? What's this
That's
again?
an element, though.
What element or what?
No, matter.
What
Type of
matter,
matter.
is the main component in the Earth's atmosphere?
Carbon.
Antimatter.
Anti? I
I
think
would say-
carbon, maybe? I know that makes up everything.
My guess was oxygen,
Yeah.
but I was wrong.
I'm thinking, when you think matter and element, there's obviously a difference between the two, but I'm not exactly sure. Science was never one of my favorites.
Well, it starts with an N.
Nitrogen.
There you go. It would be nitrogen would be the matter. All right, TV radio. Which TV series centers on the daily life of 4 female neighbors in the suburb of Fairview?
Oh, Golden Girls.
I don't even know what
What was that?
town
What
Golden Girls were in.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Chicago
I don't
for the
know.
Golden Girls?
I just think 4 females.
Which
No.
TV series centers on the daily life of 4 female neighbors in the suburb of Fairview?
4 female neighbors. They don't live with each other
Oh,
because
okay.
Golden Girls was in Florida.
Yeah.
That they were in Florida.
Okay.
Thank you for being a friend. Dur, 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 dur.
That was
So
Golden Girls,
4
right?
neighbors living together?
4 no,
Oh,
4
that's
neighbors.
4 neighbors
living by each other. That's
living
what I
with
meant.
each other in Fairfield or
Fairview.
Fairview.
It's not fucking that Desperate Housewives bullshit, is it?
I was gonna say
You
yeah,
got it.
Desperate
Yeah,
Housewives.
nailed it.
Fuck, that card's that new?
That's new. Yeah, that's
Wow.
newer.
I'm thinking, I wouldn't think that would be on there, or Sex in the City or something like that. But
That's what that was my first guess.
yeah. But that's New York, isn't it?
That was Newark.
Yeah.
Not Newark, but New York.
I didn't mean New York City. I meant New York. It's state, right?
Isn't New York? Isn't New York State in New York?
New York City
No,
is in New
not
York
necessarily.
State.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You make me fucking think too hard.
Star Wars. We haven't.
All
done
right,
this in
we
a
got
while.
a Return of the Jedi thing here.
A lot of
from Star
information coming
Wars.
out on the new Star Wars movies too, so that's cool.
Is
I
there?
don't know it offhand. I've been reading, but I don't remember.
Well,
It's
that'll be
just
good.
me.
Hopefully they do a fair job with it.
Yeah.
All right, this is off Return of the Jedi, and you're going to have multiple choice here. What part of the Death Star did Wedge hit while inside its superstructure? Its main reactor, power regulator, thermal exhaust port, or fuel tank?
Which one did Wedge hit? Wedge Antilles. What did he hit?
Inside the superstructure.
What movie is this?
Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
at the very end
okay.
of the movie.
Okay.
When they had to fly in.
Yeah, but I thought the Millennium Falcon shot it, but
No, the TIE fighter was the very first, or the X-Wing was the very first one that shot in.
So then give it.
Because he was the first one out.
I think it's A, but I can't remember what A
So
is.
main reactor, power regulator, thermal exhaust port, fuel tank.
Main reactor, I think.
All right, that would be A.
Yeah.
You have a guess?
I think, but that might be from number 4 because I thought they had to drop that proton torpedo down the shaft to the main reactor. But I can't remember. Mixing them up.
You have a guess? A, B, C, or D?
What is the thing they shot at the end when he loses the satellite on the Millennium Falcon flying through the Death Star?
I'm getting pursued by TIE fighters inside.
Before it comes around the planet and blows up the Ewoks. The
Say the
dwarf
answers
Wookiees.
Main reactor, power regulator, thermal exhaust port, or fuel tank?
It's not.
Not a fuel tank.
It's not the fuel tank. What was the second one again?
Power regulator.
Power regulator, and then the other one was the main
Thermal exhaust port.
thermal exhaust. I think it was the thermal exhaust port.
Yeah. Because if it was a power regulator, all that probably would do is shut it down.
But I think it was the exhaust
This
port.
blew it up.
There's one right down inside.
So.
I believe.
It would be the power regulator.
Was it? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it.
See, you're tiptoeing around that one. You should just went with your first
That's
inkling.
my problem with tests. You know, I know the answers, but I tiptoe around the possibility and then I fuck it up.
Then
so.
you say, "Fuck! I should have taken my first guess."
Yeah. I could
Which
lose
a lot of people do.
lose a quiz on my own fucking dick, all right? And I touch it a lot, trust me. I mean,
You
that's
quiz
how
your
bad
penis?
I am. Although that's how bad I am at doing quizzes and
Hey,
tests.
Mr. Penis.
I analyze shit.
Want to help me answer this? Maybe you should ask your dick on this one.
I will.
Even you thought it was funny. Okay,
From the dead.
this is from all the movies. Okay, what type of vehicle boasts 8 tank treads?
8 tank treads.
Say that.
Oh, the why? Oh, the
Say that
big,
fast.
the
8
big.
tank. 8 tank.
8 tank threads.
8 tank treads. 8.
We should
That's a
almost
good
have
tongue
people do
twister.
that one for fucking a prize
There
when we
you
do another
go.
live show.
There you go.
Say 8 tank treads really quick 3 times. So they're looking for the vehicle. They want to know what type of vehicle has 8
Wasn't it
tank
the
treads.
the Jaws crawler?
The Jawas crawler.
Jawas
yes.
crawler?
Yes, that
They
would
had
be
the
it.
treads.
Yes, that's the only one that I can remember.
That's the only one I could think
Everything
of.
else hovers or flies.
Yeah.
You guys would be correct. It's called the sand crawler, though.
Sand
Oh,
crawler.
okay. Well, I knew it was
Jawas,
crawler.
yeah, that was their
Jawa.
vehicle, but they were looking for the sand
I can't
crawler.
even do it. My voice. Yeah, there you go. I tried it, but I can't do it with my voice right now.
Just squeeze your ball sack. I told you to ask your penis for help. He would have helped you got that time.
That's what I'm gonna need is a breathing. I'm gonna need
That's what I sounded like driving back after that Saturday. You sure you don't want me to
After you
drive?
fell in the ditch all drunk.
All right, guys. We got
All right.
4 more things. We'll polish this off here. It's a 2010 comedy. Okay, and we're going to give you a quote from the movie.
So this is movie stuff.
You don't think it's a little weird? A bunch of guys just piling up in a big bathtub together?
Oh, isn't this the time travel hot tub or whatever it is?
Hot tub time.
Or whatever.
Or hot tub time
that's
machine.
High top time machine. That's the
Yeah,
one.
the
Yeah.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
And,
Cusack and
that's
that
what I'm
black
thinking
guy.
of.
I can't remember what his name.
yeah, funny guy.
Yeah.
He's in-
2010. That has to be it.
Yeah, he's in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Is that right?
Yes, you
Yes,
guys
it
would be
is.
correct. It's Hot
Good
Tub
job.
Time Machine.
Yes, with the Russian.
I love that
Russian
movie.
energy
That fucking
drink.
movie is awesome.
It's funny.
And you can't forget about our good friend Chevy Chase being in it.
Yeah.
As the maintenance man.
Yep.
He wasn't even in the credits, was he?
Yeah, he was in the
Was
credits.
he?
Yeah.
They didn't have him on the main.
See,
title.
I knew that, and I didn't. I only watched it once. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good.
I watched it a couple times. I got it on Blu-ray.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta get the
Fucking-
Avengers or something from you because one of you guys have something. What new movie?
The new Avengers.
I've got a whole shit ton of new movies. I got Men in Black 3 at home.
Oh,
I
that's
got
the one I want to
Avengers,
see too.
I got
That's one I want to see too. Men in Black 3.
I got that new Snow White, which is good
I want
what
to
I've
see
seen.
that.
That almost looks
Snow
like
White and the Huntsman.
it's almost like a Lord of the Rings type
Yeah.
take on.
I saw the
whole thing.
preview. I watched like 6-month engagement or something like that with Kevin.
Netflix is becoming really sickening to watch because there's just all of nothing.
Well, it's
new
not
shit.
new releases.
No,
That's
I
why
mean,
you got to
it's
get the
nothing.
discs.
You
like
do
I
get lucky sometimes. They do put a brand new movie on there. Like
Yeah,
Thor.
2 years old.
But
No. I sometimes they come out with new releases. But
I mean that Red
that's why
State
I get the
came
one
out-
Blu-ray disc because
that came
I
out
can
right
put
away.
a list in and I get a disc every now and every other day I'm getting it. Like every 3 days I get a disc because I watch it and I put it in the mail right away.
You just pay the $8 though, don't you?
No,
I just
it's
get
like
streaming. I don't get
$16.99.
the
But
the
my
disc
mother-in-law and my mom, they all, you're welcome, ladies. They all use my account, so you
Yeah.
know I pay for them to have that. So,
I know.
just so I can have that one
I've
disc.
got basically me, I've got Chase, I've got Danny, I've got even my friend John going off her account.
Yeah.
There's not a set amount like
Cheese Boy.
Cheese Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
So that, if you see him on there a lot, and then that's what he's doing is watching Netflix.
Mhm.
Okay, 1993 drama. Okay, this is the cast. Okay,
Red Dawn.
Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, and Antonio Banderas.
Ooh. Oh, what?
Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington,
Oh,
and Antonio Banderas.
Philadelphia. The movie about
I
AIDS.
have no cool.
AIDS.
AIDS, yeah, because Denzel
I have no
Washington was
clue.
the lawyer, and Tom Hanks was, and Antonio Banderas were the gay lovers. Tom Hanks had the AIDS.
You know, I've never seen that movie,
Yeah,
but I
it's Philadelphia.
that
I
you
don't think
Bruce
I've seen it.
Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen did
The
the
soundtrack.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah. You've never seen it? I got it on DVD. It's really good, actually.
They do have it on Netflix.
They do?
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I
watch
think
it.
I
It's a
saw
good
it on
movie.
the-
Very good
I think
movie.
I think I saw
suppose
it.
that's what Antonio Banderas
They dress up
says
as
when
sailors.
Tom Hanks.
Sailors.
I did see a
Pretty good.
I did see a
Yeah.
movie on Netflix the other day called Crossed Worlds.
Yeah,
That was actually pretty cool.
I think I've seen that
could,
one too.
They could move back and forth through.
Cross Worlds.
Cross Worlds.
Well, it's like a different dimension, but on the same world, but different dimension.
I mean, Tom Hanks. I
Crossworld.
mean, he's done a lot of good movies. I mean,
You know,
his
he's
playbill is really cool.
you know, at first when he started out acting, you guys would be correct, by the way, that's Philadelphia. But yeah, when he first
No,
started
he was
out
right.
acting, it was all comedy,
Most mainly, yeah.
which he's good at comedy, but
Money
he
Pit,
transitioned
One
over to more
Red Shoe,
serious
yeah.
roles,
Yeah.
like
Troy.
Saving Private Ryan. No, he wasn't.
Oh, not Troy, but no. What was that one? It was
Da
like
Vinci Code.
Troy.
Like
Da
Troy.
Vinci
It was
Code?
like Toy.
Troy.
No. It
Oh,
was a comedy
Big.
one. It was like
Big.
Big. That's
That
what
was
it
a comedy.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah,
really
that's what I was
serious.
thinking of, the comedy. But I said the first thing that came out was Toy, but it was
Oh.
it was actually
Boys
his
One
face.
too. That's got
Robin Williams is
Robin
what's in
Williams
that one.
and isn't
No,
Jackie Gleason in it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the toy with
Oh, that's Richard Pryor.
Richard
and
Pryor. Yeah,
I
that's
was talking
another.
about the Toy.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah.
and Jackie Gleason. Toys has got Robin Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't know about that one. I had to see that one again. But
It's all right.
little
That's
weird.
on Netflix.
All right. Fuck, another drama? Jesus Christ. The next two are dramas. All right. A 1983 drama. Characters. Aurora Greenway, Garrett Breedlove. Sounds like a porn name.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. Breed love. You might as well just give us the answer.
Damn. Well, you know, I could skip to maybe one of the cast members
Do.
in here. Deborah Winger
I
and Shirley MacLaine.
That don't. Not to,
No.
Okay. I'll just say terms of endearment because you guys weren't going to get
I'd
that
have never
fucker.
gotten that. Fuck that shit.
I
don't
saw
watch
it,
that
but
kind of
I
shit.
never.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it either. That was one movie I never even got.
Yeah, but that movie was pretty old though.
Fuck that. I'm going to skip to a comedy. I'm going to
Yeah.
get rid of that drama shit. Okay, we're going to go with a 2008 comedy, and this is the storyline. After all the tapes in a video rental store are erased by accident, two employees decide to film their
Rental.
own versions.
Please rewind.
Yeah. Please rewind.
Jack Black and the
I don't know who the other
black
guy is.
guy. I can't remember his
think
name.
of- Oh, he
Real skinny guy.
Scare Tactics. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch much of that.
I can't think of his name. He had problems.
Well, you're
with
not
his guts.
talking about Chris Rock.
No, not Chris Rock.
Chris Rock did it for a while, I think.
No, was he on Rewind? Or Please Rewind? No.
I don't know. I've never seen
Chris
the movie.
Rock never did Scare Tactics.
It's in my queue.
Right
my disc
now.
queue.
No, it wasn't Chris Rock. It was The guy from Saturday Night Live, well, so was fucking Chris Rock, but he was in the movie Little Man. He played.
Oh, he
guy
played the little guy?
No, he didn't play the little man. He played the buddy that busted out Sean Wyans out of prison.
Okay.
Or Damon
Damon
Wayans, not Sean Wyans. The other brother from Scary Movie.
One of the Wayans brothers.
Fuck's the guy's name? I can't remember his name.
If I known, I would have said it. All I know is Jack Black's
guy. You'd be correct. The Rewind is in the title. What it's called.
Be kind, rewind. That's it. Yeah, I know what I was talking about. That's what I said, fucker.
What the fuck is that guy's name now? Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
That's who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Give me some time.
Tracy Morgan's in that movie?
No, not that one. It's Mos Def.
Oh, okay.
Danny Glover and who the fuck else was it?
Does that conclude your
Jack
Nero
Black.
and Napalm?
That would be
my mind.
That would be it.
All right. He just dropped an unarmed B-250-52 bomber shell on my head.
On your
on my taint. Because I'm taint-alicious.
your own Empire State Building down your pants.
Yeah. So, anything new? Anything coming up? Any expectations for the show?
No. When are we leaving to go to Chicago?
No, Chicago. We're going to LaPorte.
I don't care. It's still by Chicago.
Okay.
Is it LaPorte or LaPorte?
LaPorte.
I was thinking.
Lapati.
I was thinking.
Lapati.
I was thinking leaving like for me. It's always I always like to be early. So I mean I would like to leave like 10 o'clock. Drive down there, get down there by 2-3 o'clock. Enjoy the afternoon, and then have a good night podcasting. I know
I'm gonna give you probably a heads up because I just found this out tonight when I was at work. There's a possibility they're gonna fucking make me work on next weekend.
They can't. You have to sign off on a waiver. If you work both days this weekend, you cannot legally cannot.
I'm not
you sign
working
a waiver.
tonight.
You're
I'm
not
working only Friday. I only had to work Friday. I don't have Saturday to work.
Oh,
So that might fuck my whole chances of going down there for the whole.
why would they do that?
I have no fucking idea. You know, that machine is a fucking hot machine. Bad timing.
I tell him you.
Very fucking bad timing.
Gotta go.
Yeah,
Well, if
you
he
can't do
asks-
that, he just got the job.
If he asked me if I'd like to work, I'm gonna have to say I'd really like not
have
to work
plans.
this weekend. I have stuff going on, but any other weekend would be fine.
I'd tell him the truth.
I
We
would
had
go-
plans to go
well,
to Chicago.
when you
We've
get
been
into work-
planning this out for months.
When you get into work on Sunday, just go up to Johnny and just say, hey, Johnny, I know that a lot of us are going to have to work, but is there any way that I can have the weekend off? We did have plans to leave the state. I'm going to Indiana. Just see what he says.
Yeah.
You know, he may work and find somebody else, you know, or you could try to find someone to cover your shift too. You know, and is there anybody else left? Is there a temp still working?
Oh,
or-
there's more temps flying around.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm granted
Somebody
they're
took
gonna want
over.
you, but-
Somebody took over my spot that day. I had problems with my furnace. So.
Yeah. They got to do what they got to do.
But there's people there that'll be able to fill in.
That's
But,
I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
granted,
Monday.
yes. When I
sure.
found that out
Right.
today, I was not very happy.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
last
and what
night.
vehicle were you using?
I was hoping yours. Because I don't want to drive my truck and my wife's car's back in the
Yeah,
shop.
you've got heated fart seats.
Yeah, my wife's car's back in the shop.
Well,
Since we
that
took my
means-
car to
that means
Oshkosh,
if I
we should
take
take
that
hers
down
to-
there, my wife don't have a car.
No?
What if I just leave my Saturn and she
Or
can
what
use
if I
that?
leave my truck?
No, if you leave your car at the house, like
As long as
then I'm driving.
As long as she'd be
Yeah.
able to maybe
I'll drive
take.
too. I mean, I'm insured too, you know. Fully.
I'm driving.
All right.
Wait, no, Danny wouldn't have to worry about work because she's got off this next week.
Yeah.
Because she's all upset. Because I'm going to be gone all weekend.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'll be going to
Just
work
gotta
right
get
away.
an address and then put it in the GPS.
I got the GPS or my phone.
I got my GPS right in the car.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. It'd be nice if we could use your vehicle because, like I said, my wife's car is in the shop, and
I have no
I would
problem.
hate for the same problem that's been
fuck, I was
happening
supposed
to happen
pick
again.
Up something today or yesterday.
I'll do it today.
No.
I'm going to keep
Owen
my
told me to
fingers
pick up those
crossed.
speakers, those monitors, and that stuff, and bring them here.
Well,
yesterday.
Well, they're
It's not
today.
like you're
It's
that
Saturday.
far
They're
away.
going to be open at noon.
You only live, what, 4 blocks
Well,
away?
I was going to pick them up yesterday, and I forgot because I had to work,
You
and
can bring 'em
I
here.
had all
Yeah.
shit, and I was going to bring them here.
Well, how much does he need for those?
Nothing.
He's
He
giving
gave
them to us.
Oh, just gave him?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
was
I
he
walked
talking
in
to
there.
like $20 before that?
Yeah,
Sure.
something like that.
I walked in there Wednesday or Thursday, and he turned around and said, "You still left your speakers downstairs. You got to get them out of here." And I thought, yeah.
They want to take advantage of it. They gave it to us, so
No, I told him.
it's
but
11
then-
o'clock. I can hear the whistle.
But I everything just got so busy yesterday after working, and then come back, and then Robert come over with their kids and ate, and it's just I just forgot.
Yeah, well, my wife's going back in the shop with that same battery problem, and for some reason the battery keeps getting drained. I've gone through 2 batteries. The goddamn thing's been in the shop 5 times, and they still can't figure out
time
what
to
the
buy a
fuck
new
is
Speaking
wrong.
of drained,
Yeah, you gotta go drain
I gotta
yours.
go drain.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, other than that,
talking about
pull-
draining, it's time to pull
I'm going
out.
to pull out something and
hold
go
on.
drain.
Other than that, make sure you go follow us at Twitter at Dixon Cider Show. Go to Facebook.com/ Dixon Cider Show page. Like our button. You can also like us from our website at DixonCiderShow.com.
Stitcher.
If you listen to us on Stitcher Radio, or you have a smartphone and want to learn how to use an app like that,
As
just
long
go
as
to
it's not
Stitcher.
mandatory in school to use it.
Just go to Stitcher.
App.
Just go to Stitcher, search for our show, add it to your favorites, and start listening. And just make sure you thumb us up. You can hear nice arguments.
Yeah, you can
like
thumb
we
up.
just
You
had.
can thumb up Bird's ass.
He already said that
Give him a
last,
thumb up.
beginning of the last podcast. He doesn't want thumbing in the ass.
Yeah.
But then again, I think he thumbs his own
I've been
ass.
tweeting shit up left and right. So, make sure you follow us, and as well, go and listen to all the Pod Gods from Pod Gods Network. We are the largest independent podcast network in the world, reaching multiple countries, many continents.
And
Even
lots
on
of
that
people.
asteroid that
Lots
has
of people.
fucking white paintball powder on it?
Yeah,
Really?
Well, not necessarily.
That's what we're cosmic.
we're cosmic. Yeah, there's nothing you can do but a 52-ton fucking paintball.
No, 52 tons of paintball.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
fucking!
Not 52
my money's
Quit
on
being so
Bruce.
fucking pedantic.
My
Shut
money's
the
on
fuck up.
Bruce.
Well, facts are the facts.
Exactly, and the facts are that are you gonna play the cue? Are you gonna cue the end?
Whenever you're ready to get off.
In about 10 seconds.
I'm ready.
The facts are that young children should learn gun safety in school.
And young children should not listen to this show.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're a young kid, get offline.
So if you don't like what you hear, shut your fucking ears, and we're gonna pull out of this circle jerk.
that means you, Junior.
And if you get the opportunity, take a picture of yourself with a sign that says "I put my dick in the circle jerk" and tag us in that picture, either Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Bye bye.